Yo guys, welcome to either the first episode of the Student Side Hustle or the 38th episode of Walsh Weekly, but I'm just gonna say this is the 38th episode of the Student Side Hustle. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that, but basically I'm rebranding it. I'll do a full episode on it soon, but yeah, we talk about that a lot in this episode. They give me personally a lot of great tips, but I think that is almost the best thing because it shows how I'm just a human, even though I'm someone who, like, I've already created my thing, but I'm very, very, very much not there yet. Like, I still don't know what I want, and I still don't know what I want to create. But yeah, the reason these guys can help me so much is because they've gone through it. These guys aren't, like, they're not there where they want to be yet, but they are miles ahead of me, and they have a very good mindset, and they are at the point where they want to start giving back, and they want to start helping people who are in less fortunate situations. And you will hear about a lot of that because they're trying to start a project, and I'll let them explain that. But I think it's a very important project, and it is something very dear to their hearts. But yeah, so Chent was actually on episode 7, where he basically talked about his PTing, talked about ARX, which is augmented reality exercise, and his whole startup, that thing. That was a really good conversation, and it was a while ago now, so it's been 6 months since then. I've never had Sean on the podcast before, but Sean has a lot of great things to say, especially talking about something that he is really passionate about, which is mental health and anxiety, because especially when it comes to fitness, I think they're two very interlocking things, because for myself, my mental health and my fitness came hand in hand. Once I got my fitness on point, my mental health relatively came along with it, and I think it's something that's really important, and I think he's tackling a really difficult but important topic. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It is not really focused on those general topics, but it goes all over the place. There's a few jokes. There's a lot of jokes. I cut a lot of the laughing out, but they say some funny things, these dudes, because we are just mates. Like, yeah, I know these dudes more than I do know most podcast guests, but yeah. Also, if you're wondering, you can check these guys out. I will leave a lot of their links that they want to promote in the show notes. But if you really want to check them out, I would check out their Instagram. If you want to check Sean out, you check out lancaster.fitness on Instagram. And if you want to check Chent out, you'll check him out at chent.thambia on Instagram. I'll leave both those links in the show notes because they're kind of hard to spell, but it's relatively easy to find if you just go into my following. Thank you guys very much for listening. I hope you have an amazing day. Study hard, work hard, and hustle harder.
People are constantly raising the bar. Sacrifices need to be made.
What would you guys say are your biggest weaknesses?
You or your enemy right now?
Is success a lie?
Just a fucking podcast.
I'm with Chent Thambia and Lancaster Fitness. So, guys, it's been... Chent, you were on probably... You were in July. It was fucking ages ago. A lot has happened in this time period. And Lancaster, I was going to get you on a while ago, but I've been procrastinating that a bit. But yeah. So basically, Chent, what's happened in the last few months? Sean, who are you? What is this? All this kind of stuff. So what's happened in the last few months?
All right, guys. Hey again, Chent. All right. So, what tripped me out to start things off is I asked James when we last done our podcast, and it was in July. So how many months is that? I'm horrible at counting.
Probably 6, 7...
6 months?
Something like that.
Five, right? Yeah, 6.
3 months, yeah.
Yeah, so it's only been 6 months, guys, and honestly, I've been so lost in this, my journey, that it's honestly felt like a year or a year and a half. So what we talked about last time was about ARX. Was that before I went to Paris or after?
Yeah, I think it was just after.
Just after, eh?
Yeah.
True. So I reckon let's start with ARX, where that's at. It's augmented reality exercise, where we're developing software for smart glasses, and we're trying to create the next revolution in fitness. Where that's been, last time we had been just flown to Paris for a French Innovation Award. That was insane. I've never been really never been flown anywhere for business, so this blew my mind. Since then, I got over the initial post-Paris hype, where you're sort of living in a fairy tale land, and then reality kicked in.
Yeah.
All right, it's not fun and games anymore. The trip's over. You got to do some fucking work. Can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do some fucking work. If you actually want to do something with this brand. So we've done a lot of things. We went to the NZ Fitness Expo, where I brought on a couple of trainers to sort of represent the brand. Sean, Mr. Lancaster here, was one of them. Again, that taught me a lot of things about the value of other people, bringing other people into my brand, and certain people showed they're more valuable. For example, Sean. So we've done a lot of gym promos since then as well. One being a recent awesome gym in Newmarket called Flex Fitness.
Yep.
96 Carlton Gore Road, 96B.
96B.
Carlton Gore. Check it out. Shout out to Craig. Yeah, that was awesome. Again, got Sean on board. It's allowed me to develop the business a lot more, take a step back and just think about how to grow this. So without sharing too much, we got a couple of big contracts. We've got an ARX to a point now that it can sort of stand on its own 2 feet without dying.
Yeah.
Like we've hustled for like 14 months straight. And we've also set up a couple of big things in, for example, one in April, one in June, and one in January 2019. We've sort of set those up. So now we've put ARX in the back burner, and I've been focusing on growing myself as a PT.
Yeah.
PT brand is that's just normal PT brand. I understand the industry now. I found my clarity and my calling. And with that in mind, we're going to talk about a joint venture after Sean introduces himself. And that'll give you a bit about clarity of both of our missions in the fitness industry. So I'll pass it to Sean, guys. He can introduce himself and tell you about his journey and even where we first met and how we've both developed in our own path.
This is Sean Lancaster here. I'm Lancaster Fitness. For myself, the biggest part of my journey has probably actually just been these last few months since I left Club Physical. That's where that's where the ball's really been rolling for me. I first met Shan at Club Physical about three and a half years ago?
2014.
2014, yeah, so that's just about 4 years ago now.
Yeah, it's a long time.
So, it's been a while and, there's been a lot of growth, but it was more like the seeds were all getting laid and now, the tree's actually starting to bear some fruit with the way everything's been rolling out. I've been working on my online personal training where I've been bringing that in conjunction with my own journey with mental health and anxiety. And that's where I'm trying to take that. I really want to help people who have these mental issues, who believe there actually is no way out.
Yeah.
I run into a lot of people who say, it's a disorder, it can't be fixed, you can't do anything about it. And then I just turn around and I think, but I did. So obviously, so I really do think it can be done. And it just all starts obviously with that changing mindset, and that's right now the seed I'm trying to lay with people, just trying to show them my own journey, where I was and where I am now. So that's the essence of Lancaster Fitness, and I'm currently in the process of building that brand, and over time you guys are going to see the branding roll out, and my mission is really going to come to the surface. In my corporate life, I'm currently the manager at Jets down in Glenfield.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a good gym in Waira, I do recommend you come along. I'll give you a really good deal. No locking contracts, guys.
Only if you join today.
Idea of how managing a gym actually works. A lot of the things that go on behind the scenes that people don't actually realize, when they're running a gym as a trainer or as running a studio on their own. So that's given me some really valuable experience in that field too. Because back at Club Physical, I ran the operations of that gym. And before that, I was one of the floor instructors and a trainer, and then I did reception before that. And I've also done group fitness. So I've kind of worked every avenue of a gym now, and I've got a real feel for how they work, how fixing everything works, and how keeping one of these businesses running works, and how all the numbers are going to be coming in and out. So I'm actually now feeling confident in my ability to actually run my own facility down the line.
Yeah, and then what was the joint venture between you two? What is this about?
Yeah, all right. We'll talk a bit about my purpose, or the purpose I found with trainings. For example, Sean talked about anxiety, overcoming anxiety, and helping people do that with fitness as the vehicle. So for me, I think the biggest turning point for me was the 12-week challenge I'd just done. I've helped a lot of people, lose weight, achieve an awesome goal, and like a couple of awesome results. So not to boast, but all my clients in the 12-week challenge got first, second, and third place, and dominated too. Like the first place was like a 21 kg weight loss in 12 weeks. That's fucking a lot, and the before and after pictures was insane. But everyone was like, congrats, and I felt good, but I didn't feel fulfilled because I have achieved results like that in the past, and people just fall off. People fall off. So I can achieve a great physique result, but the mindset is the key.
Yeah.
And then I started, long story short, I started dissecting my purpose, and my true purpose is to help people find an opportunity in a place where they come from, maybe a low income earning, a poverty kind of area, help them find an opportunity that they can't really see right now, and use fitness as their vehicle to teach them all the lessons they need to be strong enough for this journey. Because you need strength through focus, adversity, consistency, discipline. So yeah, I found a way to package that, and where Sean's clarity, vision or mission also lines in is a lot of these people actually suffer mental problems.
Yeah.
You know, like I had anxiety, and personally I had anxiety in crowded situations, and I had this weird thing where every time I go to a cafe or anything, I can't have anyone sit behind me. I have to sit behind a wall, just because I've been in so many situations where I've been under the influence and cheap shots flying everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like if you're not alert, you're getting knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know? So that took probably like 2 years of moving to the shore for me to overcome that. And there's a lot of the steps he does, I still, you know, I can actually see how that's sort of what I'd done, but without any structure. Yeah, so maybe tell them about how a bit more about this package we're working on.
So what we're looking at with the package is Shinto has actually been a really invaluable business mentor for me over the years. And so he's been giving me really good tips and pointers on how to build myself up, how to brand myself, and I've just been kind of following and emulating what he's been doing from what I've been observing as well.
And now you got a key skill that I don't have and I know is valuable, which is running a gym.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Oh yeah, of course. So you know, if we were to look at opening a studio together, obviously I understand all the running costs, all the overheads, and how to keep one of these facilities from actually, you know, going into the red. How much we're going to need to put into it versus how much would versus what we could take back as profit. But outside of that, looking at my own package as well is working with mental wellness. As I've been slowly building a template that I'm going to be using to help people overcome their own anxiety, their own depression through fitness, using that as a tool, and the lessons that you're going to take back from setting goals and achieving them in the gym, I've noticed slowly bleeds back into people's personal lives. I work with a lot of people now, and the fitter they get and the more they're achieving goals, and the fitter they get, the more they're turning around to me and saying, wow, I just noticed this and this happened today. You know, it's not even gym related, and you know, they're hitting me up, and it's just like, you know, frickin' see, it's working, isn't it? And so I really do believe in the idea of a healthy body will bring a healthy mind. I've been working on what I'm starting to notice is kind of the 3 pillars of wellness, which is if you learn to get your mind right, you get your physique in shape, and you get yourself some really good opportunities going. That's how you build success. Yeah. And you know, I want to attack, and I want to hit it in that 3-pronged attack.
It's funny you say that, because I've always tried to break down my packages into multiple sections too, and my 3 things that always would come up. Now it's 4, but my 3 things was training, mindset, business, which is just that. Yeah. But now I've been working with a nutritionist, for example. Yeah. This is a whole nother side note, is I've invested in him to teach me this nutrition side of nutrition. I'm actually really interested in it, and it's crazy to see the kind of results everyone's getting from this. So now my 4 things are sort of like training, nutrition, mindset, business. Yeah. Yeah. But it's crazy. That's where a lot of our values, I guess, tie in for this joint venture. And to be honest, a quick spiel on the joint venture. We're looking at opening a facility, a joint facility sometime in the future, where we can sell our packages. And our packages are pretty much, we will find someone that needs an opportunity, has the want in them, but just does not have the resources to make this happen. And then we'll also go to a corporate, whether it's a big company that wants to help sponsor and help support these youth that are lost, and pretty much offer them a package where we will get the corporate in shape for 12 weeks. Yeah. And at the same time, they get to sponsor one of these youths. They get to jump in and train with them. But not only that, we're going to give the youth mental coaching, business coaching, personal training. We're going to supply them with all their meals, so that's not a problem. We're going to pick them up and drop them off in a nice luxury car so they get the taste of their lifestyle, which they've never had before. We're going to bring them to our studio over on this side of the bridge, which was a key pivotal point in changing me, giving me a new environment, getting out of the hood. And we're going to put them also through a couple of online courses to teach them sales skills, marketing skills, and a skill of their choice. If they got a passion being a writer, we'll put them in a creative writing course. Mentor them through this whole program, that after 12 weeks, not only have they also got their body in shape, but now they've got new skills, new outlook on life. They have the opportunity via a dinner. We're going to have a final dinner as a graduation ceremony with the mentor that chose them, who's a successful guy in a corporation. Yeah. And this guy will have the chance to they can be life mentors onwards, and we'll also create them a job opportunity, maybe via boot camps or something through us.
So it's quite like, because it's with those kind of people who feel trapped and don't know what to do, like what and how to get out of their situation, and not even know that there is another possibility out there. Where would you begin with those people? Like, how do you find them, and how would you how much of this do you think is going to be relatively intuitive, or how much of this do you think is going to be very, very hard to figure out the first few steps, or that kind of stuff?
Put it like this. Both of us could answer this, because Sean's clients will have more of a different, not different, they'll both of our target markets are similar when it comes to lost youth, but his one will be a certain category of people, mine will be a certain category of people, right? Like for me, I've been there, so I know where to look. There are certain organizations, like we're talking about Tyler, Turn Your Life Around, and a lot of my mates went through these things and they didn't work. There are organizations out there that help these gang influenced dysfunctional families and stuff like that. But the thing is, we just approach those guys themselves who's currently doing it and offer them like, hey, send your kids our way and we will actually help them via this and this. But what about a bit about your target market, like maybe where you came from, your circle of friends, your kind of people?
With dealing with people, particularly people who have those mental health issues, the number one thing I'm learning, it all starts with that seed, and it's just how you lay it, and it's letting them understand that it is possible to turn this around. A lot of people are so closed off to the idea that beating anxiety, beating depression, getting themselves into better opportunities, that it's just not possible. And it's because they've got no self-confidence and no self-esteem. They hate their bodies, they hate their jobs, they hate their lives. And they just don't see the point in putting in any extra work, because there just doesn't really seem to be any hope for them. So step one is just showing them that it can be turned around. And that's where fitness comes in. The moment you set a 1 month goal and they achieve it, you see that little piece playing in their mind going, I did it.
I've done something.
I've done something. And it can be something as small as achieving a 60 kilo squat, or hitting one plate on the bench, hitting 10 pull-ups. It can just be such a small thing. But day one they couldn't even do one pull-up. Day 30 they're doing 10. And you can just see them going, oh my god, I told myself I'm going to do something, and I did it. And then it's just using that and pulling it out of them.
Because I definitely think for me, there was a point in my life when I don't know, I was never, I don't know if I was depressed or whatever, but I wasn't happy.
Lost.
Yeah, I was fucking lost. And then I trained really hard for cross country. I won cross country. And then that completely made me realize, I can do it if I put in the work, and that the work isn't this unattainable thing.
Yeah, so you can relate firsthand.
Definitely.
Both of us, probably, your fitness goals gave you confidence. My fitness goals transformed me into who I am. So
And I definitely think, because both of you have had major experience with this, with the demographic, and I think that's going to be very valuable going forward, because you'll be able to speak to them like you've been there, because you have.
Exactly.
And it's like, it's definitely something that I think, I don't know much about the other organizations, but I think it's something that could really.
What I noticed. Like guidance counselors and stuff like that. We always looked at them like, how do you know? What do you know? Because they're always way older or white or something like that. Like analogy I kept. No You know what I'm saying. If you're Polynesian, you understand. Guys that will come and talk to us in mags. Because, for example, one of my goals is to go talk at Mount Grammar, and I got a chance to talk at Birkenhead College if I want. But I don't know if any of those guys will listen to the message I'm saying. There'll be one or two in there that I will impact, but the percentage is higher, and honestly, somewhere like fucking Manarua High or something like that. But I noticed every time someone would come and talk to us, it would be, we couldn't relate. We'll sort of hate the person up there, like, what do you know? And they're just whitewash it, the whole story and their message, and it's like, come on, guys, get good grades, let's make your mum and dad happy. It's like, but how you relate to these guys is you tell them stories where they're like, oh, cool, because what they think is cool now is how this dude got stabbed, or this guy got shot or something, or this guy made $10,000, or so I want to flip the script and actually share those kind of stories that most people are scared to, that I actually have, relate to them and be like, that story was intense, but I've been there. Like, you think it's cool, but X amount of years later, that equals this. And that's the You know, and that's the fucking truth, because I'm not even in my 30s yet. And so I was there like 2 years ago. I'm still sort of there. I got people that are doing that this day and age, you know? That's the unique spin I bring.
And like, I think it's, because it's obviously going to be hard to get past that thing of who are you? Who are you to tell me this sort of thing?
Yeah.
And like, I think it's a scary thing, especially when, you know, you're a kid sitting in assembly and you're listening and then you're thinking, okay, yeah, cool, but what? Like, and what?
Yeah.
How do you guys think you're going to go about bridging that sort of gap?
Yeah. For my target market, hierarchy is big. Like, because honestly, gang culture here is, youth gang culture is heavily influenced by US gang culture. It is what it is. OGs and the younger Gs. So, for example, when you're a young guy, you know who the big shot callers are. Like, the little gangsters from where I was. Or that's one thing I actually realized. Like, I'll share one personal story. One of my boys, back when I was running with him, he just got out of, you might know about this, he just got out a couple months back now, just got out of prison after like 4 years. He was like one of my closest mates, so I went to a hotel party where he was just drinking, just to go show love, you know, as I do. But I hadn't been back to the hood in a while, or like that kind of scenario. And yeah, when I was there was a lot of like new faces, because normally I know everyone because I'm active. I'm not active anymore. There was a lot, like probably 15, 20 new faces, all the younger generation, like the next guys under us, where they're treating all of my boys like OGs now. Like, my boys are like, yo, give me the drink, and they got to do it. You know? And I'm like, come on, man, you're treating him like that, like, because I know him, he's my mate. So then they would do it to me, and it was really weird. They were like, oh, what's up, dogs? You drink. Like, handing me everything. Oh, yeah? And that was real weird treatment. Because I hadn't been an OG, you know? And then, like, there was one bit later in the night when we were all drunk and bantering. I was on the balcony, and 3 or 4 of the young dudes, like, came to me in awe, like, going, like, oh, you used to have the braids, eh? Like, you know, like, they knew who I was. I was the guy drinking, putting in work when there were the kids in the primary, like, watching us. Like, it was weird to see that they're now following in my footsteps. And I was like, yeah, that was me. I'm different now. And they're like, yeah, we follow you on Instagram. Man, you show us there's another way. And that's when that spark hit me. I was like, fuck, all right, I got to make this my mission then. So that's how, where that goes is the little kid in assembly. As long as you still got respect in the hood, they will know you're an older G. You're a G sometimes, so they will always look to you in awe. But the second you lose your reputation, like a lot of people get out of the hood and just turn their back on everything. Like they don't associate, they try and hide their past. Yeah. Those guys don't have respect anymore. Yeah. And these young guys won't listen to that guy. A hard thing to be like, okay, I'm out and I moved out and I've done this thing, but then, like, obviously I don't know shit about that, but like it's hard to be like, oh, okay, I've created this whole new life, I'm gonna help get you out and all that kind of stuff. How do you think you Sean will go about telling the people who don't have any hope and don't think there is like a safe like way to feel more confident and feel just generally happier? How do you think you're going to approach that?
I think for me, the most valuable tool I have at my disposal for bridging that gap is just my story. Is just showing them what I've been through and where I've come from. I mean, like, the thing is, I mean, in complete contrast to what Chantal has been talking about, I come from a middle-class Kiwi family. You know, I went to Auckland Boys Grammar, you know, raised in Mount Eden, Remuera, you know, so I came from a nice area, you know, quite affluent. So how come, you know, with all those advantages, the kids in this household don't really get good grades? How come none of us really are excelling or achieving at anything? And just really going back, and it's just somewhere along the lines, the system has just taught us, it just hasn't taught us the right lessons, and I just never learned how to engage. I've got all this passion, I've got all this energy inside me, but I just never knew how to actually apply it. Yeah. And just coming up, you know, along the lines, you know, with the family environment I had, you know, I mean, my father does have some anger management issues. My mother has been bipolar my whole life. You know, and just dealing with that from a very young age. You know, I was that kid with behavioural problems. I was always in and out of the school guidance counsellor's office, always in fights. I got bullied all through school, never really had any friends. So my whole upbringing has just been defence this whole time. You know, I just always on the back foot, always, you know, trying to prove myself to people. And then, funny enough, it always comes back to my dad, doesn't it? I've I did some brainstorming recently, and I looked back and I just noticed all the times I actually really excelled was when I could just kind of loosen up and I didn't really feel too much pressure.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, the only times I ever felt fear of failure was when my dad was watching, say, a rugby game. Those are the games I played the worst, were the ones where Dad was present. But the ones where I'd come home and I'd bring back a Player of the Day trophy, or I'd score tries, or I'd lay down some good tackles, were the ones where he couldn't make it for some reason.
Yeah.
Suddenly I'd loosen up and I'd feel good. So for me, just kind of any form of pressure, I used to crack. But I've learned how to lose that fear of failure.
Yeah.
And just learn how to work.
How do you go about losing that fear of fucking up? Like how do you do that? Because I know for myself, before I like started doing all this kind of stuff, I was very scared of failure. I didn't want to look like I couldn't do something or all that kind of stuff. Like I found it very hard to get over being scared of failure. How do you go about getting over that?
I just learned how to put it all in perspective. I'd write down everything. I'd write down the situation that's about to occur, and then I'd write down what would actually happen if I achieved. And wow, success. What would happen if I'd fail? Oh, shoot, not actually that bad. Like what's the worst that could happen? Oh, so-and-so might not think I'm very good at something. Oh, big whoop. And then I'd write down, what does so-and-so mean to me? Not much. Suddenly, failure... suddenly there's no real pressure.
I see why pen and paper, like pen and paper.
That's why I write down everything. I'm a true believer of actually physically picking up a pen and writing down what you're going through. Because I believe it creates physical presence to your problems or to to your emotions. And anxiety is when you're worried about something. And in the natural environment, one of the best analogies I heard is a zebra in the jungle or out in the savannah only feels anxiety when it knows a lion is nearby.
Yeah.
So if there's no lions around, a zebra's happy.
Yeah.
It's chewing grass, it's in the sun, it's being a fucking zebra. So if you write down your lions, your problems, and you make them real, and then you can actually put them in proper perspective, you can then close the book and go, okay, I'm going to deal with this problem at this time, I'm going to deal with this problem at this time, and then your brain goes, oh shoot, we have a plan? Great. I don't need to worry about this right now. And then you can actually switch off from it.
How do you, because I know, I don't personally, I don't deal with much anxiety, and it's just not something, like I don't get much, I'm not sure actually, but I don't know too much about it, but when you're in a situation that evokes a lot of anxiety, like for some people, which is something I never understood, but it's something that a lot of people tell me about, is they're scared to go into the gym because they fear judgment, all that kind of stuff. When you get into a situation like that, how do you go about
overcoming that?
Overcoming that.
You gotta ground yourself back in reality. Anxiety is almost like that fear. It's almost like thinking about situations that aren't actually happening. Like I'm not trying to brag here, but I now get people approaching me in the gym going, fuck, your arms, your shoulders, your chest, like how do I get that? So obviously I'm kind of becoming that guy, like you might even feel that as well. And I can honestly tell you, I'm not really worrying about you in the gym. I'm not sitting there looking at you thinking, oh, you've got too much weight, or oh, you're too skinny. I'm too busy doing what I'm doing. That's what I'm there for.
That's it.
The person who's sitting in the corner judging you, let's be honest, you don't really want to associate with that person anyway.
You don't want to be that person. So even with my clients, sometimes I got a thing called, I always tell them, if I feel them straining, if they're talking to someone, if they're looking away, I snap them and I go, stay in your bubble, stay in your bubble. When we train, this automatic bubble forms around us, and it's just me and you taking you through this fucking journey where we're trying to get you your mission accomplished. So stay in your bubble,
When I train, I like to wear a hood or a hat and pull it down low, and because I've got a problem where I can, I'm a bit like a cat. I see a movement, I'm like, oh, what's that? So if I've got my hood on,
I love the action.
But if I've got my hood on, I can just stay really focused on what I'm doing. But it just comes back to when you feel anxiety creeping in. There's almost a process you can go through. It's just you got to start by just bringing yourself back to the present. And one of the easiest ways to do that is focus on a physical sensation, a smell or a noise, or just do something that just kind of brings your mind back into the moment. once you've done that, then you've got to just really stop and actually try rationalizing your thoughts. You've got to think about them for a moment and think, okay, is this actually going to happen the way
I know a good one. If you walk into a gym, the good way to ground yourself is try to think about what song they're playing. Yeah. Because they're always playing a song, and it's something you think about. You've got to really listen to that.
And it's always the most generic pop song as well.
That'll be a good thing, You're feeling anxious, someone's looking at you, what song are they playing?
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's all good. They're not looking at me. I'm just on a treadmill. No, boom.
Your brain's a bit like a computer. So, like bringing yourself back to reality is a bit like opening the task manager and ending that process.
Yeah, I like that.
So that's just, and then you just rationalize those thoughts, and then you just gotta learn to tell yourself, what's actually going on. Like, okay, look, that dude in the corner, look, he's big, he's scary, but to be honest, I think he's more focused on lifting that heavy weight than to be worried about what I'm doing. And 9 times out of 10, I see someone else in the gym doing their thing, and I'm thinking, good on you, bro. You're putting in work.
I think with the gym, in terms of hierarchy and respect, I always look at how to earn respect in a situation. So, and if you got respect in a situation, you're not judged. No one's looking down on you because you got high respect. And the most respect in the gym is working your work ethic.
Yeah.
So you'll see like a big guy really going hard, and there'll be people like, "Fuck, good on you, man! Like, good on you." But he might feel like we're trying to give him pity. But no. I make a point that if I see someone working hard in the gym, I'll go up to them and congrats them.
I remember you did that to me. Like,
because I see you pushing it.
Yeah.
You can tell when someone's pushing it. Even with a client, when they're like, I can't do it, I got no more. As a trainer, you can relate. You know exactly how many reps they got. You got about 2.73 reps. Maybe 2.6. But I'm good at that shit. That is my skill, and that's any trainer's skill. So that's what I monitor and scan the floor for when I'm on trainer mode. Is this guy's working hard. Go up to him, say good job, give him a spot to see if he can maybe get more out of his training. Next guy, this guy's just fucking around on his cell phone. Let me go talk to him and be like a polite way of being like, come on man, let's get it. What are your goals? Why are you here?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's our job as a trainer: scan, attack, scan.
So one thing that I'd like to touch on, because I think it's quite interesting, because you are a manager at a gym, you work at a gym as well. I noticed you train at a lot of other gyms because you don't want to train and be having people interrupt you all the time. And I don't know if you train at Jets or not, but I know you do train at a few other gyms. When it comes to training at your gym and doing that sort of stuff and getting in your zone and getting in your bubble, how do you get in that? How do you get in that zone?
I've got a good one. You want to go first? Or you want me to do it?
Yeah, go by all means.
Yes. So one thing I noticed is that I always go the fucking polar opposite of something. So for example, I only train in club physical. Members started distracting me. I let it get to me, and then I went polar opposite, and I never trained at club physical. I only train other places.
Yeah.
But then my floor presence was gone.
Yeah.
So I realized that you got to be strategic with your sessions, and you got to learn the art of acknowledging a person. I used to just ignore them, like someone say hi, and I try not even look at them. But then you're not giving that person any acknowledgement or respect, and they'll leave the gym. Because you got to. Sometimes they look at you like a hero. Like if your trainer is going all out, and they're like, man, he's going hard out, but that's the guy who trains me. It's sort of like it's good for your clients. So what I do is sometimes I'd block out like a peak hour, and twice a week I would train on the floor in the peak hour, just so people can know that I practice what I preach.
Yeah.
And acknowledge everyone while I'm at it. Like if I see someone, always headphones up. How you going, man? All right, man, back to it.
Yeah.
I give them a smile. Boom. And they're like, yeah, good man, he acknowledged me, and he's back to it.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
So I think it definitely demonstrates that you're like, you exist as you're a human being.
Yeah, but I'm working now, and I do it with a smile.
It's like after the 10-second interaction, isn't it?
That's it.
Like, hello, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, bro, I'm just going to get back to it. And most people respect that.
Yeah.
Like, because if someone did that to you, you'd go, oh, shit, he's doing his work.
Yeah, Cheers for stopping. Cheers for taking some time.
Yeah, exactly. For me, it's actually pretty much the same thing. Because I'm not actually one of the trainers at Jets, I don't have to worry about the floor presence so much, and I'm there all day anyway. So for me, it's a little bit different. It's the brand in my head is now associated with work, so it's a little difficult for me to get into training mode. I still go to them though, especially during some of the off-peak hours, just to kind of still let people know like, hey, I still use it.
Yeah.
For me, getting in my zone, it's pretty much the exact same thing. It's letting people know I'm there if they need me. However, I actually am here to do work.
Yeah.
So please don't approach me halfway through a set and ask me about membership payments, because you will actually. And I have actually had that before.
Hey, how much is it? 6.5? In a squad. Hey, how much is 6 months?
No. I was actually on the leg press, 7 plates each side, like ripping it out. And someone's like, "Oh, Sean, someone just wants to get a trial." I'm just like,
man, I had a funny episode. You know how I joined up at Just Workout, right?
Yeah.
It's weird because I've all the gyms. Have you noticed I'm real? Remember when you used to try to tell me to come to other gyms back in 2015, 16? I'd be like, nah, this is my gym.
Yeah.
It's become a weird safety thing. So I've been getting like random anxiety when I go to Just Workout as what I am now.
Oh, yeah.
It's been really weird. Because I first joined YMCA, super unconfident, stayed there for like 10 years,
Yeah.
Like I had a membership from 14 to like 23, 24. And then I got club physical, overcame that like that oh my god, alright, I gotta go on the floor now. That anxiety. Boom. And then all the other gyms I would always go with other people. Like I'd go like another YMCA with Dylan in Japan. I'd go Jets with Sean. I got a Just Workout membership though, so I can train somewhere else out of hours with the Christmas hours.
Yeah.
So when I had to go to Just Workout just for my own workout, and I actually was sort of hesitating. I'd look at the time and be like, nah, it's peak hour. Maybe I should wait till peak hour's over. I wonder if it's packed. And I even thought maybe I would text Sean up and ask if Jets is packed to find out if Just Workout might be packed. Why am I going to that extent? Thinking about it. And then when I was on the floor, it's like I quickly went to drink bottle fountain and scanned who's on the floor. It's weird. I still got that.
Yeah, because I remember because I used to go to Jets a while ago, and I felt like there was a time where I got comfortable there. I didn't feel, because at first I felt judged in the gym. I was like skinny guy. I was like scared. But then a few months into Jets, I felt comfortable there, and I was like, yeah. But then, because it was ages away, so I just moved to Club Physical. And then at Club Physical, I started feeling the same, like, oh shit, like, and I was like scared of people there. Yeah. But then, I don't know when, but I think at some point I'm gonna walk into a new gym and just feel like, cool.
I believe a gym floor is and always will be an intimidating place. It's a lot of people letting out emotions and energy and stuff. It's a high energy area. So every time someone goes to an unfamiliar high energy area, you're going to be a little spaced out, like what's going on? And that's normal. But so I believe that you will 100% feel some sort of anxiety or some sort of like spike in something the first like week or two of a gym floor. But that's why PTs have a job. Like my favorite clients are the ones that sign up at our gym and get the 2 complimentary sessions, because they always see me like I've never been on the gym floor before, like I don't know what I'm doing, and then I just take them through like the premium tour, like this is generally what you want to do to warm things up. This is generally how you want to train. This is generally how you want to finish. I'll say hi to a couple people on the way and like show it's a friendly area, get them to shake hands. Hey, this is thing, by the way. Like give them the welcoming tour. Yeah. And then if they feel ready, I'll let them go. But if sometimes they're feeling still a little bit scared and they felt like they could only achieve that with me, I'll be like, sweet, let's do maybe 8 weeks or something. Get you feeling good about yourself on the floor, and then we'll let you go from there. That's pretty much what a PT does, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think another reason a gym floor is so intimidating is because it's one of the very few areas where you just find people from all walks of society in the same building at once.
Yeah, true.
Like even if you say go out, people actually go out to different bars based on the kind of like the kind of social groups like to hang out in. But a lot of gyms, be that as it may, especially with boutique gyms, people are starting to once again break off into those different social classes. For the average person, their local gym is just the one they go to. And so it's just really interesting to note that you're going to be running into all different personality types. One good tip I've often given people is just think, what would you think of this person if you ran into them anywhere but the gym? Most people, generally speaking, are actually quite nice and very pleasant and easy to get along with. And it's just in the gym when they're wound up and they're excited, and they're like in their zone. People come across a bit more forceful. Like, man, I want to get back into my set. Why are you trying to pull me? Why are you trying to pull me aside for a 2-minute conversation about the rugby? I'm trying to work out. But nah, just going into the gym floor, understand that anxiety is a good thing in most situations.
I believe it's normal to have anxiety.
Oh, anxiety is actually a very natural, a very natural survival mechanism.
And we've labelled it with something, okay?
Anxiety has been negatively associated with this mental disorder, but that's actually anxiety disorder, which is where your anxiety doesn't switch off. And there goes my watch. But with naturally occurring anxiety, I mean, if a mountain lion appeared on that deck, I'm sure we'd all suddenly feel kind of scared, like whoa. We'd all feel that fear, but that's your survival mechanism.
Not even a lion, a mountain lion.
That's your flight. That's your fight or flight. Nervous system going. All right, let's actually get you into work mode. And that's why you feel on the gym floor, because you feel that natural sense of I've actually got to do something now. So in most situations, anxiety, if you learn how to use it properly, is a really useful tool that will make you put in some real fucking work. It's just learning how to switch it off when you don't need it.
Yeah. Fun fact, I pay a dude $500 a week for business consulting. That's a lot of money, man. That is a lot of money. That's a minimum wage job, Yeah. And I was only living paycheck to paycheck before that. And I got home for $500 and I moved out of my home. I put myself in like a negative $800 situation. And I'm like 8 weeks later, I'm all good. I'm sitting with like a couple grand in my bank somehow. It's just sink or swim.
Yeah.
It's
scary, isn't
but
it? It's like when you force yourself, you're like, no, you're like, if I fuck up, I'm really like, it's gonna be a lot more damage than.
And you gotta have the right people in your circle. Like where I was going with the business consulting is that guy was the support, the shoulder I needed to boost myself to triple my income and even quadruple my income some weeks. And so I was paying him $500, but he allowed me in my third week to earn $4,000 in that week, where my average was $1,100. So obviously I'd done the maths in my head, going $500 is piss all. This guy just helped me earn $4,000. He's doing something to me, so I better keep paying this dude and just fucking going with it. And the cool thing about that is, whenever you invest in a mentor or a course or a skill, you then acquire that skill to pass on to others and charge for that. So through this investment and through my own journey and growth, through a business consultant, I can eventually charge $500 for a business consultant. As a business consultant, sorry.
But it's definitely like, it's just levels. It's like,
you invest in that level and then you become that level. And then so obviously the next guy I'm thinking of, I really need to find someone with like a Ferrari 458 Italia. And just fucking
preferably 2017.
And pay
about 100,000.
Matt Blank, but like a mentor on that level. Like I've worked with a lot of mentors. Like, so actually one guy, K-Man, Kerry McAvoy.
I remember you telling me.
Yeah, holy shit.
The dude does like the high kicks over like his
his like cover photo. He's got like a Bentley and he's just doing like a random high kick because he's like a 10-time World Taekwondo Championship. So just on the weekend, he occasionally just goes to the next comp and just dominates because he's in his masters category. He's like in his he's in top 50 fastest growing businesses, extremely successful. He was the founder of Max Fitness College where I studied, and a lot of people talked scrutiny about that, going these guys are all weird, like hippie and visualization and stuff like that, and they charge $8,000 where NZIHF charged $4,000, $3,000 in some occasions. But I went to that place, and honestly, my fucking interview there, they blew my mind away, because they talk about wealth. They have half a year is business and half a year is fitness, but the business side is all wealth creation. Where K-Man is only with K-Man. So K-Man just mentors you, on how the fuck he's got like X amount of Bentleys, multi-million dollars. He wears, he's big on, this is another thing I liked about him. You see those posts where it's got like, have you ever seen this, where it's like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs in a photo and they got no jewelry on? And the quote will say, the rich don't show they're rich, or something along the lines of that. Fucking K-Man was a baller, and he had like Louis Vuitton book diary covers and like a penguins, like he was fucking stacked. And his methodology about it is he earns this money so he can experience these things, and when he wears these things, he feels good about himself. It's an experience. And like a lot of my family don't even get that. Like sometimes even my brother like scrutinizes me, going, he only just found out the other day that I'm not in this all for the money. He thought money, I was like a money obsessed like fucking vulture. Yeah. But I got him to understand it's experience, and I just want to experience the finer things in life, you know? Because you only get one, for all we know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, since you introduced me to those 2 Chainz videos, I got a little obsessed with it, mate. Yeah. Like, fuck, I want to try that $750 burger. Yeah. I want to like that when he pulled out that freaking 24 karat like rolling paper, I was like, oh,
yeah,
you know, like,
I know, right? Like even with Sean, I think his biggest evolution was when he first started. He didn't get a haircut. Like he just never was groomed. But maybe you can talk about the importance of self grooming on like character and confidence, because that's why I always take pride in looking fresh. Or trying to.
Like you ever noticed? Okay, you might actually do this. Your parents notice guests are coming over, so you're thinking, oh fuck, I gotta close my bedroom door. I don't want anyone to see it because you feel like it's going to reflect upon you. But if your bedroom was immaculately clean, you would feel really good. When they poke their head into your room, you'd be like, yeah, that's my room.
Right.
And it's the same.
My room.
And now I'm feeling it's the same with my physique. It's the same with how I groom myself. It's the same with why I keep my car tidy and my room tidy, even though my room's messy right now because I had to organise a few things. So
likewise.
But so there's a big. Oh, by the way, I found like I don't know how many items of PT professional training memorabilia like scattered throughout.
Oh yeah.
But I digress. When you are well presented, you feel good introducing yourself to someone because you're thinking, "Fuck yeah, this is me." And it's not, and then it bleeds into your personality. I used to be a real conformist. I'd be quiet. You notice if I'm driving, my music would be kind of really quiet. Like I didn't want to stand out.
Introverted.
Now it's completely the other way around. I'm unapologetically me, and I've just learned that some people aren't gonna like me.
Yeah.
Oh well. And then, since I've been more like this, I'm engaging on a much more deeper personal level with a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, I just dress the way I want to dress. I keep my hair nice. I keep myself well groomed. I wear bloomin' Gucci cologne. You know, like
and spending money on that because it's an investment in yourself.
Yeah.
And what you said, I reckon, is worth emphasizing on is being you. Like. When I moved to the shore, I went from that side of the fence to extremely trying to be on the other side to impress people or fit in. But I didn't feel like me, and it was my businesses were doing good, but never to the level I felt like I could do. And it was just a part of finding the true vision of myself, which isn't this full-on gangster, and which isn't this full-on saint.
Yeah.
I was Shen, the guy that's inspired about being successful. I'm a nice guy. I'm good to everybody. I'm respectful. But at the same time, if you disrespect me, I can't handle myself, and I will put my foot down.
Yeah.
About anything I believe in.
Yeah, I find like, especially this year, I've been very, compared to last year, where I was in high school. I cared what people thought about me so much.
So
but ever since I've let that go, it's just like.
Yeah,
like
it's like you
literally don't care what any people do.
It's fucking awesome.
You let it go.
Yeah, and it's like, it's a hard thing to do, but I think, I don't know, like I didn't sort of think about it too much, but once I'd done it, then I was just like, holy shit. Like,
and the ultimate thing with me, because I started off as the skinny kid, and that was real bad for me, was like this neck piece I just got done. That was like a statement to myself. Because normally the whole association with visible tattoos, hands or necks, is you can't get a desk job, blah, blah, blah. And I came from a desk job, and it's sort of sealing my fate that, yep, Shent's all in. This part that I preach, I'm not just a guy that's fucking posts success quotes on Facebook and Instagram and then just does the opposite thing, like post it just to make myself feel good.
Yeah.
I live this shit. There's so many people people that post on the Facebook fucking success quotes or things, and I know exactly that they take zero action, and they're like, action is everything, time is money,
Yeah.
What was that podcast we listened to the other day?
Andy Frisella, it's the same thing,
Yeah, he was saying, like, these people, they post it, 2018 is going to be my year, and then the end of 2018, 2019 is going to be my year. You just see it year after year.
So when he was saying that, I actually asked myself, so every day and every year has been my year probably since 2015, so that's when I know I'm on the right track. But I remember thinking back then, and it was only, my last 6 months was my time. So, be you, live today as today. Don't worry planning about, it's Sunday, so I'll get onto it on Monday because Monday is a working day. No, there is no day. Today is today. If you really wanted to, you could sell 10 packages and make $20,000 or $10,000 in a day, and that day could be like fucking 10 p.m. on a Saturday where you should be in the clubs partying,
Yeah. So, like, with myself, I would get into this rut of either doing, like, I remember I used to work incredibly hard on doing shit that wasn't effective.
Yeah.
Like, and if you think of 80-20, I'd be doing the 80% for the 20% return sort of thing, but I would go 100% at it with no break. And then I sort of tried to carry that enthusiasm and work ethic over onto stuff that actually makes an impact.
how do you find the balance between actually having the 1 hour a day or the 10 minutes a day to just chill the fuck out, and but still not getting lazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely got a few things
Yeah.
down there as
All right,
well.
I'll say a short one, with this business mentor I've been working with, I used to get anxiety on how much money's in my account if I have to do this, this, and this. Like I have to do this, but I really want to do this because I work on so many different things. His decision was, it's literally go by your feeling and your vibration at the moment. Learn how to vibrate at a higher level. Then whatever you feel like doing, you feel is right, whatever your intuition is at that time. If I want to build my website right now, if I just want to do an Instagram post, or if I want to, as long as it's something, with the bigger vision, because it is my passion that I'm chasing, do whatever that is. Whereas in the past, I really hold this pressure, like, fuck, I really want to do this way. I need to get this website out so I can get this kind of money going from it. But Walking Dead's on, and it's like, let me just watch that. But then I'll actually, one thing I like doing is like more creatively, like designing a brand or designing a logo. So I'll be drawing that, worrying about this. But that's where you just be content with it. All right, I'm just going to focus on what I want to do. It's good. It's still pushing me towards the right direction. Do that for about 2 hours. Watch this clip, have dinner, maybe chip away at the website if I feel like doing it then, go back to sleep. And I've still done 99% more than the average Joe. Where would you go with that?
Actually, I was going to make a point because I saw your Instagram post earlier today about the PS4.
Yeah.
And that stood out to me because you remember that where I got rid of my PS4, I got rid of my Nintendo. As far as I saw, they were just time sinks. I realized that with them, I was just killing time.
Yeah.
I wasn't, I had all this time every day and I was just killing it. So I decided to think, no, I actually want to use my time. I want to. So I got rid of the PS4. I got rid of the Nintendo. And to be honest, now I'm all work. And so I've had a few moments, where I've actually missed out on a few things because I've just been working. But now I'm starting to notice that I'm starting to come back the other way just a little bit. And I don't feel too anxious about it. I'm just starting to find balance. I've gone from one extreme to the other, and now I'm kind of starting to find a bit more of a middle ground between the two.
How do you go about finding that balance? Because for me, even now, I'm still wrestling with it. Like, I'm trying to use this like, buying a PlayStation, that's why I'm, like, talking about this, is because when I do get to the point where I'm like, okay, I want to just chill the fuck out, but I would have been doing pure work, no relaxation for a few months, and then I just get to the point where I'm like, okay, when I want to chill out, what the fuck do I do? And I didn't know what I could actually do at that point. I'm like, okay, cool, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, so you just need to find some, you just need to get a bit more creative and find some hobbies that is going to grow you. Like, honestly, watching fitness YouTube videos is actually really good. You watch Chris Jones and you will get something. He's honestly, like, even entertainment-wise, like, while he's entertaining you, he's going to drop off his fucking 50 packages that he's just sold out at Pump Chasers.
Yeah.
And... He'd be like, all right, guys, on the phone with my supplier in Singapore. Like, he'll just give you shit like that. So it's like, obviously, Singapore supplier. Look into it. Maybe there's something in it for you.
Yeah.
That's why I watch these guys, and I don't really do that anymore. For me now, it's a little bit of an escape, like anything escapism. Someone was talking about escapism. Whoever I was with yesterday, where it's either the gym, it's something totally not even productive like Dragon Ball Super. I'm the biggest Dragon Ball Z fan when I was a kid.
Yeah.
4:30 p.m. Wednesdays, right? Right? Was it 4 p.m? 4:30. TV3.
I remember getting back home, just the journey home from school was
just
long enough where if I moved fast enough, I could turn the TV on and just hear dragon, dragon.
Exactly. So I have these little escapism things, and as Sean said, the pivotal thing of getting rid of your PS4. By the way, what is the story of the PS4? I didn't see the post.
So with the PS4, basically, the idea with that is...
Are you getting one or selling one?
Getting one. Because that's the thing. That's the thing where I think it's dangerous, because for me, if you think of games like League of Legends, fucking RuneScape, Counter-Strike, they're all online games.
All three of them I've spent hours on.
And I get like into the whole competitive thing where I begin to treat it like a job.
Yeah.
Like with RuneScape, I didn't enjoy playing it, but I chucked 200 days into that shit just because like it felt productive, and I want to find a point where I can use it as intense, non-multitasking relaxation, instead of I would get into the habit recently of saying, I'd edit a podcast and that would be my relaxation, or I would fucking
that's
going
not
to the
good.
gym. I would use it as relaxation.
As an avid gamer, I was the kind of guy that played probably like 5 to 6 hours Dota a day,
I could
every day for like 5-6 hours.
same. I could. Back in the back in the Halo Online days, I could easily sink an entire weekend into Halo
Yeah.
Online.
But I'll do that weekdays and quit like not go to uni. Dota,
Yep.
Dota, right? Noodle boxes, Dota, noodle boxes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So with that, I've seen my transition. So I still have a lot of mates, Vaughn and Sam, that are hard out into CS:GO. One guy still stuck on League of Legends. Sam, if you ever listen to this, you probably won't because you're fucking playing League of Legends. But you need to get out that shit, bro. Sort your life out. With those guys, I've noticed like I went from that gaming. It's always still in you though. Like you always have that urge to play. Like I love playing video games. And then it becomes to only buying games where you can do like a round or two and then jump out. So that's why I only played CS:GO and then I deleted like League of Legends and stuff.
Yeah.
And then now it's at the point that I realized that you need to find what you need to find is you need to find something enjoyable that gets your creativity, like one of your natural traits. You builds a natural trait of yours. That's to do with some sort of business. If it's researching a thing, if it's watching something, if it's being creative, if it's listening to something, if it's physical, do that, and it's going to be a big step into the next chapter for you to sell that. Like I sold my PlayStation on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't need the money, but I just thought, fuck it, I'll just do it and put the money in my wallet so I feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's
because definitely
part of me.
I found like I find it very, very hard to like I always have to either force myself because I'm incredibly when it comes to video games, polar opposites, all or nothing. I think that is one of my major, I guess, productivity issues is I will do something so intensely or I will not do it at all. And that's the thing that I'm trying to get away from. Like you said, quitting the League of Legends and the shit like that where it's you have to sink an hour into it if you really want to play it. The idea with this is I'm sort of seeing if I can do this productively in a way where I can put half an hour into it and feel satisfied and just walk away and feel cool. Okay, I had some time to do shit all.
Yeah. So with that, I would say, honestly, it's just how you feel with everything. Another Gary Vee, I don't know if it was, don't quote me on this one, it was the whole, you can work 20 hours a week or you can work 5 hours a week and you can achieve the same. And that's one thing I noticed, like in my journey, probably when the whole starting my first PT rent-based business to above average to ARX, it was all like a race against time. And I would be working for like 12 to 18 hours, but I'd probably be achieving probably 2 hours of work.
Yeah.
Just because I was on all the time, I was stressed all the time, I was pressured all the time. So even with my training, I was like that. If you've asked Sean to come talk to me on the floor in 2015, I was a lot more snappier. I was aggression. I was real stubborn. If you tell me something, I'll be like, nah. I'll just let me just do this. I was doing the right things, but I realize now, if you see me on the floor now, I'm walking around real slow. I'm sort of chill. I'm like singing to myself and shit. But the second the weight goes off the bench, it's like boom, 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 and then just chill because I realized patience is the game. If you put 30 minutes a day or 30 minutes a week even into an idea, it's still going to be X amount of hours within a couple of years, and it's still more than a person that's not even putting 1 minute into a self development. So you just know that all these little things you're doing that isn't your wage job, something that you're creating for someone else, there's still a 30 minutes of editing a podcast, even if you don't post it, there's still 30 minutes of editing you just upskilled, like if you want to play RuneScape XP, you're getting XP in things and skills. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a really good way to break it down. Let's just say, hypothetically, there's something that you would take 60 minutes of your time to create. You put in 1 minute per week. In 60 weeks, you would have that.
Yeah. Even though that's not efficient, but that's the point. Exactly.
So it's like, it's very, like, because as you said before, you would find yourself doing 12, 18 hours of work and getting 2 hours out of it. And that's the thing that I think a lot of the time that I find it as a major issue. But I'd like to touch on another thing, which is in this sort of entrepreneurship and fitness and this sort of space, one thing that I think is quite hard for some people is mental health with it, because a lot of people don't see the downtime and they don't see the I'm human sort of aspect, especially with a lot of people like Gary Vee, like all that those people. Like, I do believe in a lot of what they're saying, but I do think that a lot of it comes at a very motivated cost. Like they don't show the side where they do idolize failure in a way, but I'm trying to get this out in sort of a coherent way.
I think I know where you're going with this. I was listening to a podcast earlier today.
And you told me that, and then I told you something about that. So you go with it, and then I'll probably think, well...
what this guy was talking about today is... I'm just remembering the name of the podcast, but they were talking... He was talking to a singer-songwriter who's recently become successful. And this guy was really breaking down his journey, and then he was comparing himself to other artists that he was inspired by, guys like Prince. And he said one of the biggest causes of depression and anxiety when you're starting a new venture and you're looking at your idols is we're comparing our behind the scenes with their highlight reels. So, like, an example for the gym is Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're seeing Arnold doing this amazing training session with these incredible weights and getting this amazing pump, and he looks good. But you're sitting there struggling every day to even build a little bit of muscle, and you're comparing where you are now with, you know, what he's able to show off now that he's built it, even though he's gone through the exact same phase you have.
And not just Arnold at that point, but Arnold literally on the stage, 5% body fat, 3% body fat, like his peak condition. And a lot of people on Instagram, they do photo shoots in their peak condition. It's always IFBB photo shoots. It's just how it works. And then they post it out there and it's like, man, I want to look like him. But if you see these guys in real life, not bagging anyone, is their everyday is sort of like your everyday.
They've just been doing it for longer, so they've got more to show for it. And it comes back to what you were talking about with putting in time. The more time you put into these ventures over time, the more you're going to have to show for it. You know, like we didn't get to where we were overnight. You know, we've put in a work for these bodies like hardcore over the last few years, and now we've actually got something to show for it. And that's now why I can turn around and see a newcomer in the gym, and I can actually, I can honestly say to him, bro, leave your ego at the door. You know, when you come on in,
down.
you know, you're only going to hamper your own progress if you come in here and you start trying to push the same weights I'm pushing. It took, you know, you've got to earn this.
One
and the only way to earn it is put in time.
One thing with what you're talking about what do you call it, with like Gary Vee saying this thing, but it doesn't really relate or you don't agree with it. There is when I first used to listen to podcasts, I wasn't as mature, I would say, as I am now. I would listen to those things and just agree with things and disagree with things. But the skill I've learned to sort of overcome that, so every piece of value I learned in a podcast, even if I agree with it or not, is valuable, is what kind of perception does that guy have to label that situation like that? He's obviously, it's right, it's obviously might be wrong for you, but it's right for him because he sees something in this way, and this way. So automatically when they say something and I don't agree with it, I'm automatically dissecting it going, why would he think like that? Maybe this is his perception on it. And then I'll ask myself, maybe my perception is deferred. Should I maybe change my perception to see it is as his, or is his perception his perception?
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because it comes back to what you were saying to me earlier. It's when he challenges. So it's when he challenges me. That's when he knows I'm going to grow. Because that's when I go back and I start dissecting it. Like, okay, why did he say this to me?
That's exactly it, and that's the skill right there. That is the skill right there. Like, I could tell him everything that he already knows, but it's going to do nothing for him. So that's why in podcasts they get so deep and so opinionated, but they get opinions from people who are extremely successful or who have failed 10 times and made it on the 11th. Because obviously their opinion is going to be worth some value. And they will challenge you to think that way.
I'd also like to touch on failure and knowing when to, to say like, okay, this thing's done. This thing is not something that I want to continue. How do you know when to start new ventures? And because you only have a limited amount of time, how do you know when it's time to start new ventures, either in replace of old things or taking time off everything else to put into this new thing?
Yeah, I would say for that, from my experience, ask what you're getting out of that venture. If you're getting nothing out of it anymore, I think it's good to give everything a solid year to run. But if you haven't produced anything in terms of a service or product or in any sort of revenue in a year, you're kidding yourself. I would say you should have done that before week 1 of your if you've given out some sort of value, created something, a post, something, I would say maybe look at X amount of months, between 3 and 6 months, if you can start generating some income. Because ideas are ideas and ideas are awesome, but if they're not earning any cash, or they're not ROI positive, if you want to call it, you're sort of kidding yourself.
You should also be, like you're saying, noticing improvements. Especially if you're, say, investing time in a new skill. Let's just say you're trying to learn an instrument. And if after 6 months you are no better than you were at the start, then you really got to question whether this is actually right for you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, even with that, sometimes the business is not going to be the reflection of what the business is giving you. It might be yourself. Like, I was so gutted about above average for a long time, and I tried to revitalize it a couple of times, but then I realized what I actually learned from above average was fucking pivotal for PT, professional training, for personal training, and pivotal for actually what I'm going to be doing now. I know how to package things. I know how to contact wholesalers. I know how to not fuck around. Just get a product out there. Because we did sell 50 items and we were in profits for that. And then I made a stupid choice with some tights, and then they were just oversized. So that actually taught me something. So I blew probably like 2.5k on a credit card loan on products that didn't sell, and probably only got like 500 back. So I was two grand in debt.
Yeah, it's funny because those lessons are the ones that really stick with you.
So I know exactly how I wouldn't make that mistake again. So every lesson, every venture, like so what are you working on right now? So other than what do you want to share other than your podcast?
So particularly the things that are taking up the majority of my time is right now. I reckon these holidays I've not been doing too much. I've just been trying to work, trying to save money, which is something that I think is useful. But I think money is the way I'm getting it is not. It's not scalable because it's like it's a wage. It's not something that I can scale.
It's currency. Like a good way to look at money is energy, like a flow. Like money should flow through you into another vessel, or if money just flows to you, it's hollow money. It's actually worthless. You can have $1 million in the bank and be worth nothing in a sense. But you should divert that money into whatever you're trying to build and create. If it's fucking a course that's going to give you this skill, and this skill. If it's a business, if it's a logo, if it's like, you probably get that a lot as of late, like putting money. How does putting money into Lancaster Fit, like the logos and paying Nevin, how does that make you feel? It's going through you.
You were there when I actually handed him the money, just cash for it. Like, hey, bro, bang, let's get this done.
And there was no problem with that. It wasn't like, I might pay him later,
Yeah, it was like, I mean, like, it's money that, like, I mean, to be honest, like, I'd be hurting for now because, once again, like, Christmas rolls through and you got to buy gifts for everybody, and then obviously there's been this issue with my car lately, which. It's just once again like and then suddenly
always something. And
suddenly I found myself going fuck. But then at the same time, but it's funny, those lessons are now kicking back in, going, oh well, you find a way through. And we were at the dealership today, and I was looking at other cars, and to be honest, and then I was looking at all the numbers, and I was going, fuck, this works.
Yeah.
And suddenly anxiety gone. Just
exactly. And even just with going with them to that, like I went and viewed a couple of Mercedes, but really new models before. And then I looked at my financial situation and I thought it might not be a smart choice to get a fucking like a $90,000 car right now.
Well,
right now.
See, that's I think that might be what you were talking about, the difference between, because you were asking me about the other day. What's the difference between visualization and delusion? And sometimes it's understanding, like educated steps and risks to take, and then when are you making a step that's just before you? I always bring it back to the gym. Delusional would be me approaching the barbell right now, loading up all these plates on each side and just going for it, knowing my body's not ready.
Right.
So one thing that I really want to touch on, which is it is a very not general question, is so the New Zealand economy increased by 20% last year. That's the value of the New Zealand economy increased by 20%. And Chen, you were just talking about $90,000 car, all that kind of stuff. And buying the luxury items. How do you bridge the gap between doing things like investing in the stock market, because you can make huge amounts of money, and for doing very, very little, also it is risky though, but I think right now is one of the best times, but also one of the worst times. But where do you find the gap between buying the luxury Rolex that makes you look and feel more confident and all that kind of stuff, and investing in stuff and using that money as a vehicle?
Again, it comes back to how you feel. Like one thing with the business consultant I've been working with is about visualization and be before you are and you will become. So like it's not like in 10 years I'm going to be doing this and this. That's just dreaming. You're that guy now. It's like a good analogy he always says. Shout out to Steve Paps, awesome dude, good mentor of mine. one thing he always tells me is imagine, like, so what is my visualization? So I'm thinking, like, I'm in a Rolls Royce, cream interior, I'm on the highway in Dubai, I'm dressed fresh, I got like a nice fitted tee like this, but in white, I got like a bow tie because I'm going to the airport, I'm headed towards my private jet, black, leather inside, it's got the golden ace of spades, champagne waiting for me. I'm headed to LA in that jet where I'm going to go land on a rooftop in a helicopter. All my boys are waiting for me there. It's a rooftop party. I can hear the music. I can see the Audemars on my wrist, fully diamonded out. I can see a Louis Vuitton duffel bag with a couple of cash in it because I like paying with everything with cash money. And I'm feeling that. And it's like if a fairy godmother came from the future and told me, shit, this is you in 5 years. You just got to do exactly what you're doing now. Don't stress. Just enjoy this time. This is a chapter that you should just enjoy. But that no matter what you do, you're going to achieve that in 5 years. And then it's like, I'll see you in 5 years. I'm like, sweet. And then it's like, fuck, I'm that guy now. I'm just enjoying this moment. I'm enjoying this chapter in my life because that is who I already am.
Yeah.
And that's why changing my wardrobe and I'm being who I really am rather than knowing this is me and putting myself at this physical level. Being like, nah, I'm in Burgundy, this, blah, blah, blah. I don't, my money doesn't, my account doesn't have this and that. My business isn't this and that. I'm keeping myself here.
Yeah.
So if this guy has a Rolex, where I'm going with this, if this guy has a Rolex and it's not a delusion, invest in that Rolex. Anything and everything that makes you feel like this guy, you do. So that you can be this guy. Whereas if you're this guy here will be thinking, yes, Rolex is 25k, I could put that into stocks. But this guy, 25k is nothing. I got fucking like 50k in the bag next to me. So I'll invest in that Rolex and then I'll find another 25k that I'm going to put into stocks.
It's definitely like a very controversial viewpoint because a lot of people think, nah, no luxuries. Like, oh, Steve Jobs, he doesn't buy shit like that, like all that kind
I guarantee he'll have something in something.
Steve Jobs, apparently his house was freaking balling. He just had a different way he liked to spend his wealth.
That's it.
But he still lived in a really nice house with a pool. Everything was done up for him really well. He still had a luxurious life. He just didn't wear it on his wrist.
Exactly.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, Bill Gates. I've actually seen a doco on Bill Gates' house. His house is like a mansion out in the jungle somewhere. Like he's got computer chips like stitched into his clothes, so the different rooms in the house detect when he's walked into them, and then will start automatically like turning devices.
This is why I'm partnered up with this dude because you know shit like this that can really back up a point. Because that's the point right there that. I think a lot of people focus on that side of things just to make themselves feel better about their decisions. Like, the richest man in the world doesn't have it, so I shouldn't have it, and maybe I need to. It's just like you talked about the matrix. Everything is sort of designed in your program to stay in this matrix of you go to school, get an education, go to college, jump in this job, wake up the ranks, eventually buy a nice house with nice cars and look after your family. Boom. Nothing wrong with that if that makes you happy and the idea of the safety of the matrix makes you happy, the confident about a generic life, you do that. But once you realize that you're more in control than you actually imagined, you never go back. You never go back.
Yeah, because it's definitely something that I notice, like with people who don't think in this way, don't think in an entrepreneurial way.
They can't think like that,
They don't see like any value in the things that make them feel a certain way. Like, for example, even just my family, we would not go and buy a fucking thing that has no intrinsic value. Like, we probably wouldn't even go and buy a Merc because it's all about money efficiency and all that shit like that. But
of course, because that's just how they grow up. They're programmed like that. If they're happy, they're happy. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it's definitely like a whole different mindset.
Different personality types as well. Like people like to like invest their money in different ways. I mean, for me personally, like that Beamer I was looking at earlier, for me that's actually a solid.
So what does that mean for you? And I'll tell you what the Merc means for me.
For me, the BMW, like that blue one I was looking at, it's a 2-door coupe 180i M2
Sport Xenon or some shit.
Yeah, it's a very nice looking car,
it's nice.
I mean, it's got quite a few kilometers on it, and so that's brought the price down to something I can actually like literally pick up next week. But for me, getting in that car is a statement about myself, and I just felt so good driving that car down the motorway. And I can already picture my dad going, "Oh, you've got a Beamer, and bloody horrible Euro cars, it's done 130,000 and this, that, and the
Remember
other."
when you're so influenced by that you used to give me shit about my one?
But now I'm sitting here thinking, but if this car just makes me feel fucking boss every time I walk out and I hit that Beamer emblem on the keys, and then it goes doot, doot, you know, and I jump in and I just slide that key in and I hit that push for start button.
Got to push for start.
And the Beamer emblem comes up on the dash, you know, and I look down and I just see, and it's just, for me, that big point was just the M at the bottom of the wheel. If I'm just in that every day, I'm already the dude I am in 10 years. Driving the latest Beamer M2, the one that's got the fucking V8 that switches half its own engine off if you're going under 50 to save fuel or whatever. You know, like that's me, and you know, like, so that's just the stepping stone for me. It's putting myself into that lifestyle that I want to be living, and you know, creating that visualization and making it stronger and stronger every day. If every day I'm just taking another small step towards it, I'm going to have it.
Like a practical way for me is like, I'm a self-analyst to the fullest because I need to be. I believe that's how you develop yourself. You analyze and break down yourself. The most when my mind is on point, I'm a fucking beast. Productivity levels insane. I could just go meeting to meeting to meeting, call this dude, no problem, no anxiety, no hesitation. But when I'm not in that state, which is probably like where you're all in or not all in, I sway. I just lay in bed sometimes. I just scroll through Instagram. I'm like, oh fuck, can't be fucked doing this. Get under substances of different things. Not crack, guys. Don't do that. No hard drugs, all right?
Yeah, kids, don't do crack.
Don't do crack, kids.
And then
just try what that joke.
And that's where this whole podcast is been going. Don't do crack.
But yeah, with that in mind, I've broken down so much to the point that my most weakest point of the day is the second I open my eyes. I'm naturally a super lazy dude. When I wake up, I can sleep. I used to sleep for like... Everyone went off. I used to sleep for 12 hours average from the age of probably like 15 to like 21. So 12 hours was my rate. And because I wouldn't go to school. I'd go to school every day at lunchtime. It was just programmed into me. That's still in me. So days I'd wake up, sometimes I'd think like, I just can't be fucked. If I don't have to get up, I won't get up. And I'd fuck around. But little things such as if I got to get up and drive to the gym, and I know that Merc is waiting for me outside. When I first got that one, it was like I got up early and I was like, I just jumped in that and I smelled that, and then it was like started, and then I want to start my day. Yeah. And the amount of the kind of things I'm going to achieve getting up and destroying that negativity in my life from getting that car is invaluable. It's invaluable, and that's what getting things for experience and it's all about.
I'd like to touch on keeping, so because you touched on waking up and not feeling like go. Because I suck as that as well. Like, I will wake up and I won't process anything, and I'll just be like, just sleep. But how do you start the momentum in the morning and keep it going throughout the day and have genuinely productive days 90% of the time, 99% of the time?
Are you good at that?
Get up. It's literally what you have to do is find some way to get your ass out of bed. The moment I'm on my feet, I can go. But if I lie there and I hit that snooze button, that's it. I'm there for another.
For me, it's a little different. For me, if I get up and even if I stand, like, my body is worn and torn. Like, for the first, it's weird. I actually should get this checked up. It's probably been happening for like a year and a half now. When I get up and I walk, I limp on my right foot because like I got really small joints. And one thing I noticed with my calves is like my ankles actually slightly like inverted in, and I got really flat feet because of it, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And that's been an issue with my calves and building my calves, and it's gave me a lot of hip and back problems when I've been squatting heavy. So I got issues where like I limp when I get up for like the first 10 minutes of my day. So with that being said, is when I get up and on my feet, I'm like limping and I'm like grogged over, like my eyes are tired from contact lenses. So it takes me like half an hour to 1 hour, even if I'm moving. But the one thing, for me, it's podcasts. Podcasts. What I gotta have someone feed me with some positive shit in the morning, or I'll just go back to old shit where it's like, fuck this. Wonder what this guy's doing. Think about people and actions and things rather than ideas and what I need to do for the day. How am I feeling? Not even thinking about that. So yeah, if it's going for one day at a powerful day, just got up, walked, and listened to a podcast. By the time I came back, it was probably the most boosted day I've ever had in probably the last 3 years, because I don't get up and walk like outdoors. You know,
keeping that positive energy coming.
Yeah, find out what those little things are. Make sure you make that a ritual in your day, and then once they become a ritual, you're a beast.
Rituals like I posted about it not too long ago, and I I put my alarm on the other side of the room, which forces me to actually get up and go to my
Yeah,
alarm.
because your alarm is your kryptonite, eh?
And then, my alarm is my kryptonite. If I hit that snooze button, I'm going back to bed. So I've got an automatic setting on it where I've turned off the snooze. So there's no snooze button. It's now just turn off alarm.
Yeah.
You know?
It's good.
And
So
then,
you self-analyzed and broke it down and found a solution.
so I put myself in a situation where if I hit stop, I'm putting myself in a situation where I could go back to sleep.
Yeah.
You know? So now I have to walk across the room. I hit stop, and I'm straight into my bathroom, and I immediately splash the coldest water I can on my face, and it goes and ties back to anxiety. I've got to give myself a physical situation to really get my head out of bed and into the moment I'm in. When I wake up, my head's actually still going, oh, just go back to bed and just lie down for a moment. It'll feel good.
Yeah.
So the moment I splash cold water on my face, that physical sensation kind of overrides. I open the task manager. I end that process. Bang. I'm awake. All right, now what do I got to do? And then I just start going about my day. It's just finding any reason to move around.
That's actually a good one, bro. Because one thing I noticed is when I was doing the stretch of 5 a.m. starts before I moved out to just try to get some more money into my account, and I took any client and every client, and I took all of these fucking 5 a.m. starts from Central, so I had to do a couple 4-hour sleeps in a row. And that was hard for me, but I noticed I just had to do what I had to be there. I didn't want to let the person down, so I would wake up in that mood, last minute. But the second my mood would change was, because my thing is routine, go to the bathroom, wash my face, contact lenses, shave, out. But go to the bathroom, wash my face, and the second I always leave the bathroom, I realize, hey, I actually feel real good now.
Yeah.
But it's that wash the face.
Yeah, the moment, it's funny, washing your face. There you go, there's your tip, wash your face.
Wash your face.
There you go, boys and girls. If you want to wake up better in the morning, wash your face.
One thing that I'd like to touch on is you talked about task management, and I know you use your calendar quite extensively. I'd like to touch on that. How do you use those kind of tools? I am personally trying out a few of those things. I'm trying out time tracking to see what I'm doing and if it's effective or if it's just a useless time tracker. I like this kind of shit. But so with things like calendars, like task managers, how do you use them? Do you use them? Why?
I've got a daily list of tasks that I know I need to go through every day in order to set myself up productively for the next. I do also hold I use the calendar all the time as well. I use my reminders app, and every morning at 10 o'clock, bang, everything I need to be thinking about for that day comes up. I don't do it any earlier because I want to wake up, go through my process, go to the gym, get my mind right, get to work, get everything opened up. Then at 10 o'clock, bang, this is what you need to get done today, Sean. So that kind of gives me a chance to go through my usual routines, go to the gym, which kind of gets my brain into the right space for the day. Then actually get to work, get it opened up, get it tidy, get it looking good so I feel good. And that ties back into that look good, feel good factor that I was talking about earlier. And then I get hit with all the tasks I need to start doing today. So now my brain's ready to go, and I'm in a very powerful position, because now my mind's, it's almost like a blank template, and it's just kind of saying, all right, feed me. I also, and I think I brought this up at a party, do believe you can overthink some of these things a bit too much.
100%.
So as long as I've got my daily to-do list and I've got it broken down, I'm not too worried about how my time's being spent, because I know that some things are going to take more time than others. So if I've got a big project, I know I'll need to put a bit more time on that. But the more I do these things, the better I get at some stuff. Like the more I do online programs, the better I get at it, and the more online programs I write for people, the more templates I'm creating, and then writing an online program for some people can take 30 minutes versus at the start it was taking me 2-3 hours.
You got good at overriding a couple of those things. Like your question was about calendars and these apps and using these things and what we thought about it or how we use it or do we use it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly what you said is not worrying about half these things. They're good and they'll improve you. But I think in this day and age and our age of entrepreneurs where we're just filled with a shitload of self-help apps that are just flooding to us, rather than someone like Bill Gates in his days, he would have had none of that, just focus on this thing. We overanalyze. I can see it with you quite a lot. But you said, but one thing you just told me that sort of snapped me out of that was you said you like that kind of shit. Yeah. Like the self time. I was gonna say you don't need that, but if that's making you feel good, so that you are analyzing yourself to know where your time is, then by all means do it. So I think the best thing is do apps that you feel necessary, you feel like they're actually giving you something. But there are those ones like a calendar. You need a calendar. If you're self-employed and you're booking clients, you need to know how to use a calendar. And then you realize that it can actually be quite efficient when you got so much shit going on.
Yeah.
You don't want to forget anything. You got to see a mate, or it's like, hey bro, what are you up to on the 24th of January? It's like, I don't know, but I'll put you on my cat, you know?
Yeah.
Let's catch up on the 24th. I always say let's pencil it in, and let's touch base maybe the week before.
Yeah, because I've definitely found, ever since I've started regularly using a calendar, especially for like scheduling people for the podcast.
Yeah.
Like I've never missed an interview or slept in or some shit like that
exactly.
because calendars, it's like, I find them essential, but then, as you said with time tracking, it's like, it's sort of going over the line between making an actual genuine impact and just sort of being fun. Just sort of being like eye candy or stats candy.
Exactly.
It's a matter of recognizing, is there actually a need for it in your productive day? Do you need to break down whether this hour was used 100% effectively or not? I'd say do your work, and if it feels like you've just spent a productive hour, then you've had a productive hour. You know, and I like to go by, and I like to go based on feeling. And some things I like, and some things I know what my weaknesses are, and I know I need to use some app or some electronic guide that's going to tell me, you know, that I'm doing this properly.
Yeah.
But in other areas,
that's it. Electronic guide, like the
yeah.
apps you need, is just literally where are you fucking up, and is there something out there in technology that's going to help me? Because that's what technology is. It helps you operate better.
You know, because and then you can tie it back to lessons with just about any walk of life. You know, do you a lot of people, they really tend to overthink this stuff, don't they?
Yeah,
especially
as I used to. Like I used to be my to-do list. Did you ever watch my snaps when I used to do to-do lists and like cross things off?
Yeah, I think that was, how long ago was that, mate? Was that?
That was like around June, July, like Paris area, post Paris, way like before Paris. I was heavy on that. Like I was accountable. Like I got to do this, and this, and write it down. Yeah. That was pretty good because what I found the power, like you said, of writing it down and crossing it out, felt like I achieved something. But then with this business consulting I'll be doing, I'll be learning to optimize how I operate, and optimizing how you operate is all of those tasks you're doing there. Sometimes I notice that I leave my book somewhere and I'm not at home, and then my tasks on my book, and I try to remember, and I'm like, I'll sort it out when I go home, and then look at my book. Chuck all your to-do list on your calendar, and make that calendar non-negotiable. Like Steve tells me, is if you put anything on your calendar, you do that, no matter what. Because I'm not gonna book in a meeting with Sean at 1 p.m. and they just be like, nah, can't be fucked. I'll just chill. He's waiting for me at 1 p.m. So do that with all your to-dos. Set a reminder like 5-10 minutes before. So it's like pay for website. What's on it right now? Create WordPress templates. Blah 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 blah. Set up email autoresponder. I actually got to put all of these in blocks, and then punish through them. And then when I want a break, I've done all of that already. Sweet. I'm just gonna chill, watch Dragon Ball Z, smoke something, and then I'm gonna drag all these onto the next day. And then you just slowly just chip away. That's how I get shit done now.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
And one thing that I'd like to touch on is you guys surround yourself with people who not like they do things that are productive, and they do things that are similar sort of areas, especially because you two, you're good mates. You obviously encourage each other, and you bring positive energy to each other. How do you find people that you vibe with and that sort of bring you that energy and sort of make you feel like you can do more and give you the positive like reinforcement when you need it, but tell you when to like not be a pussy?
What about these people?
Like how do you find these people?
Yeah. You want to go on this one?
For me, it's happening mostly organically. I think
that's what I was gonna say.
I think it's tying back into a lesson you gave me about the golf ball. And like the golf ball's just put something we already do into words for us. The idea is, why don't you take us through this, man? Because you've been doing this a lot more strictly than I have.
All right, so one of the visualization drills, so your question was, how do you find these people? And to start it off, I was going to say, you find these people you attract these people. When you be this person or attract that energy, they come to you. They, like Glenn just fell on our lap, you know, and he just saw, because we were these young motivated guys, he liked that, he offered us to his crib. His wife is this person, his family is this, he's this, you know. It is what it is. It just organically happened. But a visualization drill, we can all try it again. I actually want to start doing this again. If you put your hand out, right? Viewers can do this at the same time. All right. So with your right hand out, can you feel a golf ball in your hand? Can you visualize how a golf ball feels? It's like cold, hard, got a couple of ribs in it, right? Those golf balls. What color is your golf ball, James?
White.
Okay. Now mine's white as well. It's probably got that little emblem on it somewhere saying like it's a little brand there, like some little text. All right, go into a tennis ball for me. So like a green tennis ball, you know, with that design, it's probably slightly furry, you know. Yeah. So you got the tennis ball. So what the tricky thing is nothing there, but below our atomic level, our subatomic level, we're actually visualizing this feeling. The feeling, like I can feel myself squeezing it. So even if you put your hand here, you can still feel how that feeling was of, right? Like can you still feel like you're squeezing that tennis ball? You still feel like you're squeezing the golf ball, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what your drill is, your task is at your subatomical level, I want you to keep holding that golf ball at all times. And that golf ball is going to be a lucky golf ball. Do you like gold or silver? Or platinum? What's your like?
Gold.
Gold? Okay. It's going to be a gold golf ball, alright? Every time you squeeze this golf ball in your subatomical level, it will bring you prosperity, it will bring you success, it will bring you clarity, it will cure your anxiety. You just got to hold on at all times. It will bring you the most confidence in every meeting. So when you're driving, squeezing it. Even though you're holding your steering wheel, squeeze it. And the theory behind this is what you're going to notice. It's good if you don't play golf, is that you're going to start seeing golf balls everywhere in the most random place. Like I saw X amount of golf balls. Funnily enough, with the story with that, so I was doing this for a day, right? But the problem was the first day I done it, I was physically trying to hold it. I was walking around like this with the golf ball in my hand, and when I try to open a door like in Highbury Mall, I like move the golf ball and do this. I was doing shit like that, and I was looking for it. So every time I leave the gym, I'll be low key, like looking in the gutters, like looking for a golf ball, so I can be like, yes, I see it, you know, trying to visualize it into my reality.
Yeah.
And then the next day I went up to Steve, and even like we had our meeting the next day, and he was like, got your golf ball, man? And I was like, oh yep, sorry. Swap hands and shook his hand, and he was like, no, you don't get it. And then told me about that subatomical level. Can I still feel it? And also I didn't associate any energy with that golf ball. It was just a golf ball, had no value. But now when he told me it's my lucky golf ball, it brings me all these things. I was like, yeah, sweet as, I tried that. So I walked away and I was like thinking, yeah, I'm holding the golf ball. Yeah, I'm holding the golf ball.
Yeah.
And then I just carried on with my day. Went home, got changed, went to go do a mobile PT with this random client, okay? I went to his house. I was driving to his house. I remember only one time on the motorway I thought about that golf ball. Like, yep, I feel the golf ball in my hand. Went to his house, started taking him through his PT session. And then I was talking to him halfway through, and I looked, and there was 2 golf balls on the side of the thing. And I was like, to him, I was like, holy shit, you got golf balls. And he was like, what the fuck? You know, like, why just happy with golf balls? And then I told him the story, and he was like, mate, I'm about to blow your mind. And he said those golf balls are normally tucked away in the back of the garage, but he just moved 2 of his cars, and he moved some boxes, and he literally forgot about those, and I just came over. And then I was like buzzing me out, and then I told everyone about this on Snapchat. This guy told me, tell him about your golf ball t-shirt out there, fucking cracked me up. Like, you see the guy walked into your gym?
Oh yeah, and he was wearing a giant golf ball t-shirt.
Yeah, so this guy like sprinted towards him, like, because he's obviously the successor proper.
Yeah.
And what was he? He was somebody, right?
He
talked to somebody about something? Was it the church guy?
I do believe so. Yes. He was. It was. And through them, I got contacts to talk to some guys. No, through them. Sorry, no, this wasn't the church guy, bro. This was the mental youth group people. They run this kind of not-for-profit mental youth group. And once again, no one in there is actually qualified or anything, but they're people who've been through it, and now want to impart their lessons upon to a younger generation because they feel the system is. But
see, he drawed that, and he just ran to the golf ball guy. Yeah. You know? Another random one I had was I had that awesome experience with the Merc, and then I was feeling top of the world. I'm going to give you a call. When I was walking out, I just looked in the left, and they had like Mercedes golf balls, memorabilia. Yeah. And it was like, after that experience, boom, I see that. Yeah. But with that, and we just visualized something and associated something with it, and it comes into our physical world. Only because we're aware of it now.
But how do you buy into that? Because I like watched that and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll try this out. Like, I was skeptical. And I was like...
Buying into it is you have to believe it.
How do you... Because the thing for me was I forgot. Like, I just completely forgot about the golf ball. I was like, oh, yeah, sick. I was just on the bus, and I was just like, cool, I'll do it. But then...
I think the true part of this lesson is it ends up on your mind. It's like when... It's when I decide... It's after driving that Beamer today, I've just been thinking about BMWs all day. And I just see them. I can see like the corner of one sitting out of a driveway. I just notice them everywhere now. If you obsess your mind with finding good opportunities, you will start noticing them everywhere. If you become obsessed with meeting the right people, you will just start meeting them because you meet them every day anyway. You're just not aware of it.
And the thing with that, why you chose a golf ball is because a golf ball has no value. But if I told you about visualizing 10K, you probably would have still been in your mind. But the thing is, 10K and the golf ball hold the same weight. It's just becoming awareness so you can see a $10,000 opportunity or how you're going to get your $10,000, which you're not looking at right now. And another thing why that got me is, you know how that box over there says Thrive?
Yeah.
I've got this massive sales funnel plan I'm working on right now that's going to pretty much get me $3,000 of recurring weekly income, passive income by June 2018. So I can actually get a one-way ticket to wherever I want and just work overseas.
Yeah.
And this is the
Hey.
and it's like a flowery thing too. So as soon as I sat down, I was like thinking, I stayed up all last night, like probably till 1 a.m. working on this. And then when I sat down, I saw that and I was like, yeah, it's okay. So Thrive. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Little things like that. If I wasn't doing this, that would have had no meaning to me and it wouldn't have reminded anything to me.
Yeah.
So that's what the law of attraction is. Associating things with things.
Yeah.
That's going to remind you of things that you need to do and
Exactly.
feel.
You know, and it just comes back to that. You know, these things, they're just everyday
They're
parts of your
actually-
life.
yeah.
These
You don't
opportunities
realise.
are always present. These
Yeah.
people, you meet them every single day, but because you're not holding much weight, like in your head, to these interactions where you just meet someone, oh hello, oh you do this, blah blah. Anyway, nice to meet you, so on.
Yeah.
But when you're
Good.
obsessed with finding these opportunities, you'll meet this person, and then they'll tell you a little bit about themselves, and then you're hot, and then that
You're
golf ball
thinking, yeah.
mentality will kick in, and you'll go, I've been waiting for you.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and then bang. And that happened to me at the gym with Les. I met this guy yesterday, and it turns out, you know, he runs some security firms, but he's kind of on the same path I am. And just meeting him, he's now a big supporter of what I do.
yeah.
And we just met in the gym, just training, and he just kind of, and we were just kind of, you know, like I was doing my thing, he was doing his, and we just made eye contact, and I just went sup, and he went, you know, sup back, and then like suddenly, I needed to use the lat machine, he was already in, I just said, bro, can I work in with you? Even though just workout, I realised like 3 sets in has 3 lat machines. I was really out of it, eh? Like, you know, when you're just running on no sleep and you're just not really paying attention. Yeah. And then we got chatting, and I got his name, and then like he told me a bit about himself, and I went, actually, bro, I do this. And then that conversation just grew and grew and grew, and suddenly half an hour's gone by, and we just felt like brothers.
Simply because that thing was on his mind. Like
Yeah.
he was saying, the whole like Les has come from similar backgrounds, like even to myself, and he said he would know a lot of people that could use our sponsorship program.
Yeah.
And if we would never had that on our mind, or never taken the initiative to keep that on our mind,
Yeah.
or never even gotten it to a point that we know we're selling a sponsorship package because we didn't even know that before.
Yeah.
That conversation would have just been like, hey bro, can I jump in with you? Yeah, sweet. So what do you do, bro? Sweet. All good, man. You got much plans for New Year's? Oh no. Alright. Sweet, bro. It would have just been that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta make yourself aware of these things.
You know, if you're like when you're in the market for a car like I am right now, you start seeing car dealerships everywhere. When you're in the market for a house, I'm sure you will stop and look at every single real estate sign you drive past. You just, when this thing's on your mind, you will find it.
That's the golf ball.
Yeah, I definitely, especially with podcast guests, because now everyone that I meet, if I'm doing a lot of doing a lot of podcast stuff, especially when I first started, I was like, everyone I talked to and everyone that I was like, either looking up to or even watching online,
Yeah.
I'd be like,
This guy
I could
could be
reach out to this person. Like,
Yeah.
and now it's like, every time I find someone, I could just be like, okay, quick email, send them, give it a go, and then just.
Yeah, so visualization is actually the art of awareness. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But
That's something I'm going to teach.
one thing that I find very hard is it's a game buying into it, because a lot of my friends and a lot of people find it very skeptical, and they find it very almost like with a lot of those books out there, like a lot of them are very self-helpy,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are scared of the very self-helpy stuff,
Yeah.
like visualization, like law of attraction. That is a huge stigma, especially.
Yeah. I believe a skeptic that has less than the guy he's being skeptical of how we say that is probably delusional.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if let's just say 16-year-old kid or something is like, oh yeah, I'm skeptical, but that dude is like a multimillionaire with 2 Ferraris and multiple businesses. Obviously, and it's for free, and he's not trying to sell you anything. Obviously, he's telling you this because he's just talking out of his ass for no reason.
Yeah.
You know. Obviously, he has all of these things for a reason. There's only a small percentage of people with that kind of wealth. Actually, larger than you think, but you get what I'm saying? They're the minority. And you'll find it with all these kinds of people, generally the minority had someone that sort of reached a hand out for them So the pay it forward mentality is massive with these people, especially if you can pay it forward and monetize it. Because sometimes if you get something for free, you hold no value to it. That's like me charging I charge the most for personal training at my gym.
Yeah.
But I'm arguably one of the most booked out. So why? It's just because I hold that kind of value to it. And when they invest in me, they're investing in themselves into a solid result. So I would say being a skeptic about it is like, ask yourself, if you've got much more than that dude and he's telling you to do this, then yeah, all good. Like, I don't need that information. But skepticism is such a negative trait. What do you gain from that? You gain nothing from it.
Yeah, I find like, because a lot of the people who are like killing it, a lot of them do have that thing with self-help, visualization, all that kind of stuff. And for a long time, I was very skeptical, and only in the last month or so, I've been genuinely considering it, because a lot of the time I thought of it as very wishy-washy, like bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I the more I heard it, and the more I see people who I genuinely respect talking about it, that aren't selling it.
Exactly.
That's when it's like, that's the point where I'm like, wait, they're just saying it. They're not saying like, oh, and buy my course. Like,
exactly. So that you gotta ask yourself why. You gotta ask yourself why.
I think that's one reason I'm actually getting so much, like, just so many people just coming out of the woodwork for me, is because I'm literally just giving my story away to people and giving my help away. You know, people approach me and they go, I'm feeling this, and I just give them my time. And I'm not ending it with, now to unlock the full template, you have to purchase. And hey, in time I'm going to monetize it, because as my outreach becomes as my time becomes more and more strained, people who really want my time are going to have to pay for it.
Exactly.
But that's just going to come. I'm always going to stop and give people 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. I'm
always going to do that. But if someone wants, when I reach the point where people are approaching and saying, okay, look, can we please sit down for an hour? I'm going to start thinking, well, an hour of my time, I could be putting in this, and this.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't, like, for example, asking money. Like Steve Peps, easily one of the most expensive nutritional companies. So, for example, a meal plan online, how much would you get it for?
Like, if I was...
Just random meal plan.
If I was going to invest in a meal plan?
How much have you seen them marketed for on Instagram? I know the answer. I want to see what you guys say.
I've seen them pop up at about $150.
Yeah, 99 to 150. You hardly ever see 200. You hardly ever see $50 or $30. Steve's is $1,400, $1,400, and he'll pop it down to about $750. But still, that's like 7 times more than the generic plan.
Yeah.
So what you got to understand is, if you have a valuable product, you still have fucking bills, bro. It's like a lot of people are scared to ask for money, but if you're delivering a premium product, do you ever see like Gucci or something say, this watch is this jacket's $5,000, but it's $199 for you today? No, because that level of what they're providing for that customer is that money, and people get so scared about that. Like, so I would say for you, you can give a lot of free help and whatnot, like it's exactly what you said. But if it is going to be an hour, that's I got fucking mouths to feed. I got to look after myself. I got bills. I got car. I got rent. I can't just be doing this shit for free. I'll at least trade my time for money.
Yeah, that hour is time you could be spent actually making money.
Exactly.
So if
if
someone wants to take an hour of that off you, you've got to think about, okay, what is one of my hours actually worth to me?
And how much is it going to help them, and is it worth enough for them? That help worth enough for that dollar sign? So is the 6 weeks of transforming your life for that nutritional program worth $750? That's what you got to ask.
And you got to remember, these people are coming into our lives. They're coming up to me and asking me for my, your help, for my help. So, so turning around and saying, hey, if to help you out on this level, this personable, it is going to cost you X amount. That's what we do as a trainer. And it just pays to remember that I'm not walking up to some random dude in the street and being like, you need my program.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not pushing myself on people, but if someone comes to me, it's...
You could even think of it like that with you. Like, whatever you're doing with podcast, think about at what point, how can you monetize this? The question is always, how can you monetize things? You probably researched how people monetize it already. I've seen a lot of sponsored ads and whatnot. But I would think a little bit more on the level of when does it become a point where it's taking my time? Yeah. Where they should actually pay me. And that all comes down to the value you provide. Like, for example, if you had 10 million followers, this would probably have to pay on to be here. You get what I'm saying? Or like a random dude, you're not just going to go ask a random dude. They'll be like, hey, can I drop you about $1,000? You post the shout out on your thing. you got to think of ways you can give value to increase the value of your business.
That's just it. Like it's like look at
that's business one.
Look at like a lot of fitness personalities. You know, they'll be that you'll get approached by Optimum Nutrition or Muscle Farm. And they'll be like, look, we'd really like it if you would if you would start just adding our brand onto your posts, and then you can turn around and go, okay, well it's going to cost you this much.
Yeah, exactly.
And it comes back down to confidence. Like when you feel good about what you do and you know that what you have has value, you don't feel bad about turning around and saying this is what it costs. And anyone who's going to get hung up in the cost doesn't understand the value of your product.
Yeah, and they shouldn't be your customer. You should never try and close a sale of in my opinion, you should never try and finish the sale for someone that doesn't have faith in your product. They're just not for you. So whenever someone's like, oh, your PT's a bit too much, then it's like, yeah, well, I got a program option where you can just pay that and I'll give you a program and I'm not going to guide you through it. Or like Anna does classes for $10, Linton. I always say that, like if this is in your price range, I'd advise you to actually, because there are good boot camps. I'll honestly give you what you need if you can't afford it,
Yeah, people who truly see the value in your product, the money won't be the issue.
Yeah.
It'll be something else. They might, like your schedules might not quite mix, but you know what? They will rearrange their schedule and come to you. So as a trainer, and any other trainers or anyone who wants to be mentoring is listening to this, it just pays to understand that your product is worth what you value, what you set the value at. And so if you start giving away for free, people are going to start expecting it for free, and then you're not going to add any value to it. And then you're going to feel bad about asking for money. You're going to go, oh yeah, I am a personal trainer, but I'm going to charge you $60 an hour. Suddenly you're just in the way you're talking to people, you're saying, I don't really think I'm worth that much. So when you sit down and go, yeah man, look, we're going to do 2 sessions a week, it's going to be $60 per session, blah blah blah, and you're just whacking the value onto it. They're sitting there, they're not thinking about $120 per week, and if they are, they're probably, if you've hit them right and you've really sold the value properly, they're sitting there thinking, okay, $120, so this means I have 2, and you can see the power, you can see the play at work.
Business 101 is just caring for your client. You to provide the best services you care. Like that's such a simple thing. I used to look at PT sessions as PT sessions, where it's like 2 sessions equals $100. No. You're looking at how you're going to fix this client, how long it's going to take. You give him the best service, he's going to go to his buddy. So what I would even think about, I'll give you a couple of questions. We'll flip the script there. And I'll use my business mentoring or consulting thing, how I look at your business. What is your purpose of your podcast?
That's the thing that I think is the most troubling thing about doing this. Is
you don't know your purpose yet?
Yes, that's the thing. Because I know what I'm wanting to give to viewers, but I don't know what I'm actually getting out of it apart from connections.
All right, so what do you want to give to viewers?
The thing I want to give to viewers is I want to show them through people who have done it, but also through my viewpoint where I'm like still a lost kid. I'm still 18. I don't know like shit yet. So it's like I'm trying to show people my journey from start to finish, like whatever. Like, I'm just a kid. I still have a ton of issues, but I'm on the way to getting there. And I'm showing people that it's not the same thing.
So your target market is kids like you, and are those the people you're reaching out to at the moment?
Yeah, right now that's the thing. I think there are a lot of flaws in my podcasting, marketing one, and also the thing with monetization of a podcast is you need tons of viewers, and that's the thing that I think. So
I would say the biggest thing you're lacking now, you might not be, you might have already addressed these, is lack of understanding your target market. For example, do they listen to podcasts? How long will what's the attention spans like, I would say like 10, 15, 20 minutes. And to direct that conversation, that's probably even too long. Might be like fucking 5 minutes where it's like,
I just thought about how long this podcast is going
exactly.
on for.
Obviously, he's going to cut and edit it. You're right.
But that's what I'm saying. Make it through this.
So one thing I noticed, like with a lot of analyze a lot of these podcasts. One I really listen to is Entrepreneurs on Fire, EO Fire. Fucking so valuable. His ones are always between 18 and 23 minutes. Okay, always. That's like a drive length. So for me, it's perfect. Drive length. If it's anything longer than 20 minutes, I'm most likely not going to listen to it, even if it's the most valuable shit out. All right? And even like Andy Frisella, how long is that?
Oh no, I've been listening to this guy lately, Lewis Host.
Oh, yeah.
He does his hour-long podcast with guests, and he does a 5-minute Friday every week.
Yeah,
and that 5-minute Friday is just one powerful message condensed into a quick 5 minutes.
So if you want to address a couple of things, so just say these are cool. Like some people might actually like this, the whole sit down and talk in depth. I would have days like a content calendar. You probably need a content calendar if you already don't have one.
Yeah.
Like Tuesday Thunder, that's like Andy Frisella does. Finance Fridays, blah blah blah. Where it's short, sharp. Some people might just want that quick 5-minute, 3-minute fix where it's like, I need to listen to this when I wake up, and it's like, where it might just be a snippet of one thing I said powerful in here. That's going to be, if you want to hear the full version, listen to Magic Mondays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I would say understand your target market a lot more. Because once you start really connecting and giving your target market what they need, then you're going to get a lot more views, and your target market will be like, hey, have you heard of James? Have you heard of James? Wildfire. Then monetization comes, because monetization generally is all about your traffic.
Yeah.
If you're getting enough listeners, I was going to say viewers, listeners, then a brand will be like, I want to pay you to put my name in there. So I have a chance of converting 1% of those listeners.
I definitely think that's incredibly valuable with the content calendar thing, because it's something that right now it's a regular.
Yeah.
It is usually very similar episodes, and I've experimented with a few different things, but there's none that I'm like, this is valuable.
Yeah, and don't go too don't put yourself in the deep end like Monday to Friday content calendar. It might just be like every Monday you do something, or 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And another thing with sponsorships, understanding your target market, because I noticed EO Fire does mushroom coffee. They do like things that entrepreneurs, because I love coffee, you love coffee. You know, it's like. So you so you need to do things that resonate with your target market. What does your target market like to do? 2 tickets to like R&V. Boom. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna understand your market.
Yeah, and what is the average 18, 19, 20-year-old lacking that you can provide with your content?
Exactly.
What are the things these people need to hear at the level they are now? Because if you're trying to come at them like right now, like if I was coming at them with the mentality and problems the average 25 person in mid to late 20s has, they're going to switch off, because they don't face the same problems I do. But you will have a much better perspective of that because you are that age. And what's going to make your podcast so exciting to follow is that it's going to evolve.
So do topics that are real with so how old are you now?
I'm 19.
Fuck, so oh man, I had a client, I'm actually not going to say any names because this one was super personal. But this person, I'm not even going to say gender, so this might be a bit tricky. So this person, one of my PT clients, it's a she. She is, I'm not going to say the age, or it's going to give it away, but she's quite young, all right? And she's been really good. I'm surprised she can afford me. We've been tackling a weight problem, blah, blah, blah. And then I noticed for the last 2 weeks she fell off. And I could have just been like, Christmas period, whatever. Yeah. Like, she didn't come into the gym, she only comes to my PTs, and I'm like, what's wrong? And then I was like, Christmas, and she was like, other things. And I dug a little deeper, and I find out she's seeing a guy, because I found it's a relationship thing. She's seeing a guy, she's never done it before, first time, and she's actually just feeling scared. Like, because you're scared, especially as a female, because you're getting taken, like...
Don't even do that again.
Is that video on? But where I'm going with it, that's fucking intimidating, even with a dude like me, but I'm not going to get into detail. So it was little things like that, and that makes me stopped and thought, and I was like, have you had a long-term relationship before? She's like, nah. And I was like, fuck, I've done it this many times, I've been with this many people. That's not a problem. That's not my common problem at my age anymore. It is at hers. Yeah. So maybe if you could address issues like that, but have people like us talk on our things on that, like we can give I can give you a fuckload of experience on how your next 5 sexual partners are going to go, what you're going to feel, what the first one's probably going to do to you. You're going to probably want to kill yourself, you know what I'm saying?
The little places they like to tick, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. But more so the whole, because I've been heartbroken, my first done this to me, things like that. Everyone's been heartbroken. The whole Ella thing would have taught you a lot too.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. Is we're actually probably in quite a good position with because we're still young enough to actually really remember what it felt like.
Hell yeah! And I probably had like 3 off the top of my head. I've had 3 hard heartbreaks. Yeah, 3. One was 7 months. One was 4 years. One was like a month.
Yeah. You can get really close to one in a month.
Yeah, you can. Especially if you've known them for a lot longer, you know?
I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
exactly. So that one was like when you connect. But I mean, so for her, the advice I told her, I gave her like some of the whole, like, just, you know, if you trust the person, if you've been with the person long enough, like, give a dude like 6 to 8, 12 months. If he's still in there, and he doesn't care that you haven't put out, you know, he's most likely genuine.
Yeah.
Because a player is just going to try and nudge at it,
Yeah.
and try and get you to crack and then get your way with you and then realize like, no, I'm just going to go on to the next girl.
Yeah.
That's generally how a guy thinks, unfortunately, you know?
I've done that before.
Yeah, me too. Many times.
I mean, like, that's the thing, is it's the mentality. It's almost funny. It's almost like there's a mentality of a chase at times.
Yeah.
For me, generally speaking, my experience with girls has been similar in many respects and also quite different. For me, one of my biggest turning points was when I had the self-respect I now have the self-respect of, when I actually start dating a girl and it's serious, like I feel like I might actually have some emotions for her, I usually give it about 3 to 6 months. And if within that 3 to 6 months, like I still feel really good and it just seems to be flowing easy, it's something I can stick to. But if within then the fights start to happen and I mean, like,
Once the honeymoon phase is over.
Once the honeymoon phase is over, if the relationship still feels good and easy, it's a good relationship. But if it feels like work within 3 to 6 months, if it actually feels like genuine work, then this person's probably wrong for you.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, yeah, stuff like that. I guarantee a 19-year-old will get a lot more out of that than something about me talking about business systems or sales systems, you know, they're not gonna. I didn't want to hear that shit when I was that age, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the whole. I would say you'll find out you've just put it all down into a piece of paper or even a business plan. Put Wash Your Weekly on a business plan, rebrand it, tackle the issues your target market is facing, and if you want to give another message, like if you do enjoy talking about business but your age group doesn't like that, resonate it more with the people that do resonate with it, like I would say the 24 to 35. And what are these guys doing that like the EO5? They're probably driving 15 minutes. It could be called like Business Drive Daily or something like that, you know. And that can be just an episode that every Friday you do everything about drives, talking about business oriented thing. You're just lacking a bit of structure, I see. And once it's structured, you're operating like a business. You're operating like an Apple. You know, they have structures. They have systems. You know.
Yeah.
Because you with Apple, you know exactly how everything's going to go.
And when they bring an employee in, it's not like we do this on Mondays, but sometimes we do it on Tuesdays. No. If all sales quotas are due at first of the month, they do first of the month, 7 a.m. .00. It's not. It's no fuck around with it. It's a business.
One thing that I'd like to touch on is, so you talked about appealing to an older audience, like 25, 44, I'm not 44, but like people who are older than me.
How are you going, Vakara?
Yeah, the issue that I'm like, with that is I think, well, from what I've seen is when you talk to older people, like it's very hard to be like, hey, take advice from this 18-year-old. And that's where it's like, it's hard to hit that market. And with this podcast, I do want to talk about the things that I genuinely give a shit about. Like, and that's the thing, but
which
like,
is like list a couple.
Like the things that I want to be talking about is literally like shit like productivity calendars, shit like that, all that kind of stuff. Stuff like how to do things efficiently, stuff like the gym, stuff like even
your target market. You want to know what your target market is?
Yeah.
Uni students. That's it. Yeah.
But the thing is, with uni students, if I was thinking my ideal life is I want to be a uni student, or like my ideal life over the next 2 years. Yeah. Like I want to be a uni student, but not just that.
Exactly. That's what I mean. So that's your target market, because it's the whole being it. So to be that, you got to be that. You got to go to uni and you got to do other shit and share that journey with people.
And
that's simply that.
It'll come across as more authentic and more genuine if you're you in that regard.
Yeah.
If you start, I mean, like the thing is, we touched up on relationship and stuff briefly, but if you start talking about that when you don't really give a shit about it, it's going to come across as so forced and unauthentic. No one's going to listen.
That's it.
But if you're a uni student going through problems and talking about how you're overcoming them, other uni students are going to listen and go, oh fuck, actually, I you know.
So for you, where you said you want to be a uni student, but not just that.
Yeah.
What, are you not that now?
No, I think I'm very close to that, because a lot of the people in my class, they are the classic uni student. I'm just using my class.
Let's go back a second. Why do you think you're only just close to that? Why aren't you that now?
Because I think I'm not enough of an entrepreneur, but that also goes back to because I a lot of times, it's one of my personal issues. I feel very guilty for not being enough of an entrepreneur.
Yeah. An entrepreneur is just working on an idea or pushing a passion outside of your job. That's it. It doesn't have to be monetized or anything like that, because building a brand is not always monetized. Your brand is going to be free for right now. So as long as the day you started Washing Weekly and actually doing podcasts, that was the day you became that. But the problem you're having right now is you're viewing it as you're not that. So it's actually you are your enemy right now. You got to you already are that. You've been that.
You are an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You are one.
You're a uni student entrepreneur. So you label yourself as that. You don't care about justification from others. but with that being said is because as long as you're passionate about it, you understand it, you're being genuine. Even if I don't agree with you, but you're being genuine, or I feel like I'm more educated in the subject that you're speaking on, I will still respect it and acknowledge it because you're being genuine and you're sharing your unique insight into it. You know?
I think even just this conversation is over my head about sort of rebranding the podcast, because I think
it's just been all because it's developed. Put it like this: you just put the podcast out there to put it out there, get your thing started. But it's growing in the way it's growing. And you gotta sometimes you just need an external person or where a business consultant comes in that looks at your business, sees where it is, and it's like a fresh pair of eyes. Like, all right, you're doing this, this, and this. It's catering to these people, so maybe shift it towards here, test that water a little bit. And I would make it. I would somehow hack the uni system. Have you seen the Social Network Facebook movie?
Yeah, I think briefly,
Yeah, how like his validation for Facebook was social media for colleges and for his own college, and he hacked it with college culture. He used like frat parties and things like that. So if you're actually really smart, in case someone actually steals this before you, I would be the number one university kind of uni student kind of podcast.
There is already one. There's already one that I listen to, and
so beat that guy. They've actually emulated the whole blueprint for you, and you just take it and.
The thing with them is they're like 3 years out of uni now, but they've been doing this thing for 6 years. So they've been in uni, but now they're not.
So you're the new blood. Again, they have built the when a big problem is some people see another competitor in their section. In their field they're targeting it, and they accept defeat. They're like, nah, someone else is doing it, I can't do that. But no, there's room for everybody to eat. You know, honestly, there's room for everybody to eat. You just analyze the competitors, see what they're not bringing, or even just do exactly what they're bringing with a new face. So you can literally steal their whole fucking show and just do it as you and change a couple of words if you really wanted to.
We were listening to this really good podcast a few nights ago, and they said something really stuck to me that I feel like might actually be relevant here. Some of the bigger established brands no longer have that call for action that they had that got them started. So this guy who's 3 to 6 years out of uni now, he's probably going to start losing a bit of his uni flavour that made him stand out to students. And he just becomes another generic podcast to these students. He's probably now standing out to another crowd.
But he already has his loyal following.
He's already got his loyal following, and he's slowly going to take them away from uni. You know, and
that's it.
So there is room for you. You know, and it's understanding that there's always new students coming into uni as well. You know, and it's like with gym branding, you know, these bigger brands, the call for action to them kind of disappears. I got an email the other day from Tesla when we went and signed up with them, and that whole email had me going, wow, I've had emails from all these other car companies all the time, you sign up with one and suddenly they all figure out you're out in the market for a car. But none of them had a call to action for me. I mean, I love BMW because of the way it looks. I love Mustangs because of the way they look. But that email from Tesla there was a call to action. These guys have a passion and a purpose. And I love how they ended this email with, thank you for joining our mission. So with what you're doing, understand that there's always, always, always going to be new blood coming into uni who need a mentor. And whether they join you or someone else, if you give them that call to action, if you come to my podcast, you are getting this, they will become your loyal following. You just got to find your 1,000 followers that are going to stick to you like glue, and they will sell you. If you get 1,000 people following you who, you know, love what you do and who want to emulate you, they're going to sell you to every one of their friends, and then they will market you.
So biggest advice I could give you, bro, is rebrand uni. If you don't, you're an idiot.
I think that's like I've definitely been like, because the thing of the podcast is I didn't know the theme. Like at first it was scoliosis, but the market is minuscule. Like it's a valid market. Like
so you go talk. So what you actually do is you build this brand, But this is one of these other things. This is your uni brand, but you're a guy of scoliosis, you're into stocks, you're into these things. And everywhere you go and talk, this is the brand you're selling. You're actually this podcast owner. So for example, you could be this podcast guy that talks at scoliosis places, that talks at this, that talks at that. And there's little things. So I would, the little thing where, the little things and big things. So there's how to set yourself up, which is how I used to think, but how I now think is the game changers. So first of all, rebrand all your shit, get a content calendar, start doing it, stick to consistency, don't fall off, learn your target market, post out memes to do with it, like how you're feeling after your exams or how you feel before your exams. This is generally what uni life is like.
Yeah.
Partying, first day of your holiday break, whatever. But the game changers is where you're going to do something like create enough value to get in a position where Auckland University sponsors you and plays your shit for them. That deal is worth like $100,000, $500,000. That's how I think now. You know,
because these big institutions as well, $100,000 is nothing.
And they want to connect to their students. So what happens if you were like the spokesperson for the students, and they liked your message you were giving to the students, that they just backed you and put your message out there even more. So even to the point, like part of our package right now, luxury car, the whole luxury experience. So we can actually get companies, if we really wanted to potentially give us something once we build some value, like give us a fucking Lamborghini, you know, whatever. For X amount of weeks, just to give the people the Lamborghini experience, just like Jason. Yeah.
2 hours, 8 minutes in. Probably need to close it up at some point. So
I feel like we could be sitting here talking about this all day.
This is what we do, man.
Yeah, definitely. Like it just because I don't even see the timer, and then I just turn around and I'm like, oh fuck. Boom.
It's gonna be a big job
that's a lot of editing for you, man.
Oh no, it's not too bad.
Really, how long will it take you to edit? 2 hours.
4 hours probably, double-ish. It depends.
Would you do that for money?
Yeah, fuck you. That's the thing I've been.
How much would you charge for an hour of editing?
An hour of editing, that's the thing. But I would.
Hit me. Go give me
it would
price.
not be minimum wage. I'd say.
No, tell me. 1 hour. What's your price? What are you worth?
30, 40.
$40? Shit, I'll pay you 50.
Fuck, there you go. He just
because I want to get it
tangled up.
Yeah, so if I want anyone to edit my podcast or audio files, I'll give it to you for $50. Sweet. That's what I've done for Niven too. Anything you design me, I'll give you $50. At first, but now he's gone up now. He's got fucking good at it.
Yeah. Because that's the thing I was thinking of starting, is thinking, because I was thinking, what actual money generating business can I start so I don't need a job that gives me a wage, because it's like.
And I like how you do the thumbnails. Remember I told you to do that? So you obviously know how to do it now. So edit me it, chuck me at a thumbnail and give me some links or something like that. No. But yeah.
Like you could jump on Fiverr.com, one of those sites, and then put up your price at $50 or $200 for editing of a podcast.
Per hour.
Yeah, per hour.
That's actually something I had not thought of Fiverr. I was thinking start a brand and then reach out to people.
Fiverr's
but
good,
see,
man.
brands are started small. You know, they start through small.
Everyone wants to become a Nike, man. It's like Nike was like nobody.
What did we say earlier? We're constantly comparing our behind the scenes to other people's highlight reels. You know, like some established people can just stick a buy now sign on their website. People will come to them. But initially, you've got to go to people.
But like a Fiverr, where it's intimidating for you, you'll go on it and you'll see dudes with like 5,000 plus reviews, and you'll think that everyone goes to them. But they would have started with one good review first. So every job I do for you, what I would do if I was smart, if I was you, is I would create a Fiverr account. Every podcasting thing I've done for you, get me to do it through Fiverr and get me to 5-star you every time. So I've done probably this where Nevin, actually I've got to give that information to Nevin. I've probably done 25 plus pieces with him now of graphic design. He could have 25 reviews of a good service and a paid job.
I need to put my business on Fiverr.
Same actually. Fucking let me check this out.
And then because then we've got reviews like in real time. You know? Fuck, there we go. Now we're walking with something good.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, I feel like the podcast is a very good tool for generating ideas, because it's people that are usually similar mindsets talking about shit that isn't like, oh, how's the day, blah, blah, blah.
You need like a glowing cube or something here that funny life that we were talking to.
Like it's very easy to get in depth instead of and I don't know, I think one of the things with the podcast is my like thing that I think the reason I, even if it continues to generate zero money, like no money, it's something that I still want to do and still put time into. Just because,
but the thing is, if it can be generating money, you should be generating money. Like it can be, it's just lacking a couple of things now. So you can do exactly what you're doing now with this X, Y, and Z, and you can be any. This could be your job. And it wouldn't be a job.
But it's like, it's completely, it's like, it's one of the few things I do that is zero motivation is needed to do it. Like absolutely nothing.
That's good. That's good. That's one thing I always question myself with too. To be honest, like before we close, I actually thought about this yesterday, because even when it's like personal training and stuff like that, it's still a little bit of like, oh man, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. But the one thing that I can actually talk all day about, and it requires zero motivation, is talking about a person's business. And I think actually business consulting is going to be my truer passion in the future. Like I love hearing like where you are now and just strategizing exactly how to turn your business into like a multi-million-dollar business, you know? And obviously credentially I got to generate that first.
Yeah.
But I'm really confident in my services. I mean, like confident. That's my passion.
I was actually going to close with asking you guys to give me your number one piece of advice for me, because that's something I've never done. But
done.
Already done.
That's the best way to close this podcast, because it's people experience giving advice to uni students. Yeah, so that's it. Start rebrand. Start it with learn about your market. Rebrand it to that market. Get so lost in this fucking process. Systemize everything. Think of a couple of big game changers, like the big goals. Like your big goals should not be where did I see it? 1,000 average followers. Yeah. Talk to schools. That's good. So there, you can maybe talk to schools. Say this is my podcast, guys, in the assembly. Get everyone to download it. Then you got probably like fucking 500 followers in a hit. Things like that. Get into schools. Even if it's in fucking morning newsletter or something like that, and people are reading like the quote of the day from Washington Weekly. It has to be a brand like that. That's where you can dominate right now. There's nothing I know about or I would know about it.
For me, it's a good piece of advice I learned recently, and I think it'll apply very well for you, and it's just trust the process. Understand that, you know, you've got these awesome goals in place and you're actually already on your way. You're already there. It's just time just hasn't got the memo yet. So just keep doing what you're doing every day. Keep adding those little pieces everywhere you can, and it is going to happen. And bro, by the time you're my age, you're going to be where I want to be, you know.
Yeah. And it's funny because we keep hearing that from other people.
We keep hearing this from other people. I wish I'd switched on at your age.
And they're like 38, 35. But they're millionaires are like 40, 50 now.
Yeah.
And now I find myself telling that to 22-year-olds, 22-year-olds, and now we're telling it to a 19-year-old. So you're switched on. Trust the process.
Yeah.
And for me to give you that, if you that fucking gold idea, like for us to give you that gold idea of or generating that, talking to unis, targeting this market, understand the market. These are things I learned at 28 from all of these years. So you're getting it like you're getting a 9-year head start on that. You know.
The thing is there's going to be some lessons that you are going to learn on your journey. That you're going to make mistakes, and that's going to help you refine your process.
And it'll rock your world.
Over time, then you're going to condense it all into a package that you can give to people. We've been given good lessons from our mentors,
and we went through shit.
And we've also gone through our own shit, and that's and those are the lessons that we are actually the best at teaching.
Definitely. So trust the process, because it's a growth journey. There's going to be things that's going to rock your world for even maybe 2-3 years. But have you ever seen that clip of Gary Vee as well, when the kid's like, he asked the kid, "How old are you?" And he's like, and he ends with the statement of, "Bro, you could do nothing for the next 3 years, wake up, and you're still going to be young."
Yeah.
You know, he was like 21 or something. So the same thing for you. You could just fuck around for the next 6 years until you're 25.
Yeah.
Right?
My age.
Yeah, 25. Then switch on for 2 years. And then at 27, you're going to probably be 1 year younger than me and with a lot more than me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're young. Just enjoy the process, trust the process. Gunning on things you're passionate about. Don't forget to live life, because balances was a thing for me as an issue at the start of my journey. Well, I isolated everything with like time is ticking mentality, but it's not like that.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Student Side Hustle. I would appreciate so much if you would leave a review if you'd like to hear more of what I'm saying. Then I would love if you would follow me on Instagram or check out my other social media, all linked in the show notes. And again, I would just like to say thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful evening and study hard.